shop, pop, movies.
Ahoy there, this is Derek, the convicted cinephile. Thanks for being here. We were still waiting on one of our guests, but as they say, the show must go on and all that noise. I completely accidentally pressed my actual channel intro first, but whatever, it gave the person to get here an extra 30 seconds and that didn't work. So who's ready for blockbuster movies? I know I am. I got my Yoda, I got my Ecto 1, and I even have my Jeff Goldblum pillow that I sit on so I can be taller in my chair. Not like I need it. So today we're going to be talking blockbuster movies, summer blockbuster movies at that. The number one grossing movie of each summer of the years these 32 films came out. There were every summer since Jaws is what we're doing. And that's a lot of movies. I wanted to narrow it down to 32 because it's just an easier number to bracket. Makes sense. So what I did is I basically eliminated any sequels. So instead of there being 5 Star Wars movies, there's only one. Instead of being Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick, I chose just to use Top Gun Maverick because it's the more substantially well-reviewed and high-grossing movie, etc. So we'll get to those when we get to those. But first, we'll get to our guests who are here. I'm genuinely worried about Ben Buster at this point. He's usually here before I am. So first, I'll introduce the other Derek, Mr. Pure Hangout. Thanks for being here.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're always here. It seems like. I think the only one you weren't on was the one I did last month. So
yeah,
always fun to have you on.
I don't own all of these movies though.
I don't either. But that's why we're doing an interesting method that we'll get to when we get there. Next, I'm going to bring on the trivia master Huck from Huck's Pop Culture Cafe.
To quote the lovely Mantis, hello! This is going to be a lot of fun. All those movies you scrolled past, any of them, almost. There's a handful I would say no, but any of them are worthy of top drawer. There's a couple, I hope, go soon. But, mostly, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of bangers. I even had to get rid of a lot of good. Like I said, I got rid of some sequels, and that includes Empire Strikes Back. So I just wanted to be fair to each franchise. So that's why that happened. And come on, it's Star Wars. Who cares, right?
Right.
All right. Next, I will bring on first-time guest to my channel, but I've been on his channel before, like a million years ago, it feels like. KB loves movies.
Both time?
Look at that. Scott's
Thanks for coming on.
Man, I'm happy to be here. It's about damn time.
Right.
It is.
Hey, you gotta come any other time. And Ben Buster is I don't know. So we'll just go with this. And hey, if there's a tie, we'll let the chat pick like usual.
Ooh,
and we've all seen at least 30 of these movies because I think I've seen 30 of these, and the rest of you have seen at least that many from what I recall.
Yep.
Yeah,
I saw them all.
The bottom row's seen them all, right? KB? Yeah.
Nice.
That's
Okay.
old.
Yeah. I missed
Mostly in
the only one I
theater.
hadn't seen
Yeah.
was the Omen, but I watched that last week or early this week, so I've got them all covered now.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Yeah, the two I haven't seen are Beverly Hills Cop 2 and Rambo 2 because I haven't seen the first ones. And I was like, I don't have time to watch 4 movies because I'm not going to just watch the second ones. So
Right.
luckily, one of the 3 I hadn't seen, I was able to watch. We're
You
going to
know-
do things a tad differently tonight than we normally do because normally we're like, hey, I want to vote for this one. And KB had the lovely idea of saying, let's vote first and then talk about the movies. So we're going to have little whiteboards or something of that nature to write our picks first.
And I don't have a
I'm going to bring up the
whiteboard.
bracket.
What?
Yeah, the one person who forgot his whiteboard is you.
I didn't forget it. I thought it was in the house, and I found
It's
out
okay.
that it's at my wife's office. So
It happens.
A sketchbook,
It was still a good idea. That's the
daily
important thing.
planner.
thank you.
Now, Derek, I don't know if you saw, but Tim said in a pinch, if you need him to take Ben's spot, he's game.
I would. If it takes long enough, I'd say yeah. But because I asked him like, "Where are you at?" like 10 minutes ago, and I got nothing. So hopefully,
I would
he's
say, KB, I don't know
Hope he's
about you,
okay.
but the only one I didn't see in the theater was The Omen because Jaws came out as a re-release. So technically, I did see it in the theater, just not when it dropped.
Yeah.
So,
Same.
Oh, nice.
Same.
yeah, the Omen's the only one I didn't see in the theater.
Oh, that's
Wow,
great.
that's awesome.
Right on.
Thanks for making me feel young again.
That's
Same.
what we're here
Thank you.
for.
Here, y'all.
That's what we're here for.
These gray hairs
Right.
don't mean much after stories like that.
Yeah.
I've wanted gray hair since
You're
I was
welcome.
like 15, and I don't have many still. I'm angry. So I'm going to pop up the thingamajig here.
Oh,
So,
you think, Jim?
This is the first bracket. I teased it on Instagram when I said like, hey, we're starting in like half an hour. So the first bracket ended up being Finding Nemo and Guardians of the Galaxy. So if y'all in here want to write down your pick now while we're chatting,
Well, I
so.
get my
You're not going to do your randomizer 32 times?
I've done it at least 50 times already because I did it like 30 times and then did like a practice round by myself. And I was like, yeah, that's probably how this will go. And then I did it again and did, just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
And then I did a few more times. And then I did it a few more times right before this just to make sure 2 particular movies weren't on the same side. Because one of those 2 movies I think is going to win. And I didn't want to have them battle each other out too soon. Because otherwise it would probably just be unfair in reality. So I'll leave this up long enough for everyone to write down what they want to pick as their choice. And then
So fun.
let me know if you're all ready. Yeah. I'll do
Yes.
this. That way we can actually see each other. Okay. Then we'll go around the horn. I'll start with Derek. What are your thoughts on these 2?
On the 2 of them, I know I should only speak about the movies on their own, but with both of these, I gotta, I guess, speak about the larger studios. With Finding Nemo, love that movie when it came out, and I still do. I think it's great. But when I think about like the sequel, and like people will say things, I never really like bought into this concept, but I think I get it. Like, this is ruining my childhood. The sequel. I don't think the sequel's bad, but I do feel like it dropped the first movie a little bit for me. Like when they, just added that story. And when I think about Guardians of the Galaxy, when I think about that trilogy, though I haven't seen the third one yet, I feel like things have remained strong. Maybe I gave myself away too much. I've already.
That's how you're writing it first. That's the whole point.
Maybe we should do the picks before we discuss them.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna flash them and then talk about.
Oh, I mean, well, next time we'll do that. How's that sound?
Okay.
Okay.
So-
Just don't change your answer. That's all. Just don't be liars. Well, how hard is that?
And so yeah, like when I think of the MCU, the Guardians of the Galaxy are really the only group of characters that I still feel fully invested in. Like I still get excited about. So yeah, I guess I'll hold up my sign once everybody speaks, but I think everybody knows where I'm going.
No, that's fine. Yeah. Hawk, how about you?
Yeah, I love both of these films. That Finding Nemo was just a fantastic experience in the theater. It's one of the first just eye-popping Pixar's that, Toy Story was great, but when you look at it in hindsight, it's kind of janky. But
Sure.
Nemo was really just deep and rich with colors and sharp, and the humor was great. And I actually enjoyed Finding Dory. It didn't drop my love for the first one anymore because I can kind of do that sort of separation thing.
Mhm.
But everything you're saying about Guardians, I feel like it is absolutely not just one of the strongest MCU trilogies, but potentially one of the best trilogies ever made. I liked it quite a bit, all three of them. So just the characters are so rich. James Gunn does such a great blend of action, comedy, comic bookiness and all that stuff without one overpowering the other. Like what I love about all of his movies, and no spoilers on Guardians 3, it's just that they don't all end in just a CGI fest of just nausea. I had that problem with Wakanda Forever. The end on the boat, it was just like CG after CG. And I instantly I felt myself sucking away out of the film. And Guardians, while there was all this CG going on, there was so much heart at that same time. And I was locked in. So yeah, not to sway my choice, but there you go. It's hard not to do that.
No, it's fine. KB, where are you at then?
I'll see if I could keep this as objective as possible. So when Finding Nemo came along, Pixar was pretty much a well-oiled machine, and what they were putting out was just improvement after improvement after improvement as far as storylines, and definitely with their animation and their graphics. And being a young dad at the time, this appealed to me much more than any of the previous ones to that point. But when Guardians came out, it was totally unexpected, because I think the majority of people were not familiar with the characters the way they were with Captain America and Thor and all that stuff. So I think it was a surprise, and the humor with the comic book story really did it for everyone. So, yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, we're all right so far. Not in our choices, but just in what we're saying. But yeah, Finding Nemo, yeah, it's still one of my favorite Pixar movies / animated movies of all time. That's why I was glad this list had some animated movies on it, because I haven't had that yet, except for Beauty and the Beast that one time. But yeah, Finding Nemo is arguably their top 3 Pixar movie, and it probably at least almost makes me cry every single time I watch it. And now I have a son, so now if I watch it again, I probably will cry. I haven't seen it in a while. Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy. I've been a Marvel geek since I can remember, and I knew of Guardians of the Galaxy because I had older comic books and stuff, but none of them were these Guardians of the Galaxy. So even I was interested in this, with the exception of, I think, Yondu. None of the other characters were familiar to me, really.
Mm-hmm.
So it was still a new fun thing, but it was Marvel at the time, and this was them at their peak, essentially, when this came out. And it basically proved you can make a team-up movie without 7 other movies first, as long as you do it right. I love the Avengers and all those characters and everything, but this is how you do that. This is a blueprint of how to do that. So yeah, they're both amazing, and I love both these movies. So, and I just been reminded me, because I'm an idiot, that he told me he was going to be a little late, but that was weeks ago, and I have the brain of I don't remember, because that's how good my memory is. So now,
did he text his pick?
Yeah, he should have, right? I teased it. He should have seen it. It doesn't seem like we'll need it this time, but let's go. 3, 2, 1. Hold him up. We got a Nemo. This is a Guardians of the Galaxy sketch, if you can't tell.
Oh, okay. There's a little glare on there.
I just had this within reach. I'm like, oh, I'll grab that because it's the first round that popped up. So it looks like, as wonderful as Finding Nemo is, and it is. I love it. Let me put this back so I don't accidentally break it.
And KB, I was the same way. I did not know anything about the Guardians of the Galaxy till the film was announced, or I first heard of it. And that is really impressive for them to take something that most people had not heard of and then turn it into something as successful as it was, so fun as it was. And it's really, again, the only group of people I'm really still invested in with the MCU.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was definitely the most excited for Guardians 3 out of like anything in reality / the recent movies, that we know are coming out for sure at certain times.
Right.
And the soundtracks were amazing.
Yeah, great music.
And it's like part of the movie,
Yeah, I love that. You even named the sequels based on the soundtrack. That's how good they are.
I love that. I love that it's volume 3.
I realized I totally skipped the chat, so we're gonna do that now.
Okay.
I'm a jerk face. And luckily he's okay. Holland Oates is here. No one has to worry.
Hey.
What's up, Mr. Rhodes?
He's always here.
I need to redraw my hair, so this will give me some time to do that.
All right, I'll do my thing too.
Yeah, what do you got? Killer panel and great stream idea. Thanks, Tim. You could have been here, but I just thought you were going to vote for Jurassic Park the whole time, and that wouldn't be fair. Well, yeah, I forgot I brought this, so I can make fun of Tim while we're doing this. There he is.
God.
No. All right,
no, geez.
So we're keeping it classy.
That package.
Don't worry, I won't do it too often. Tim's huge package. Okay. Caveman movie. Thanks, Caveman. I know you from places. You're a buddy of Huck's too, for sure. I just saw you got something from him the other day, right?
He's a super friend. Yeah, he just decided to send me a care package, and it was lovely.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Caveman in a while.
Yeah, me neither until I watched Huck's video. I was like, oh. Corey Wilkerson. Thanks for being here, sir. Jerry's here. Tim saying hi to everybody. Mizzy is here. Hello, Mizzy.
Mizzy.
Owner of the Misfits. Don't worry, we'll have your product out as soon as possible.
Extra packaging.
Yeah. It takes too many semi trucks to haul in one load. They keep getting pulled over at way stations. What's Johnny watching? Good new kid to the community. I like Johnny.
The new really cool kid.
New cool kid who's probably older than I am, but I'd like to call everyone cool kids. And he said cool kids, and I didn't even read that till after.
He always says that.
Make it a blockbuster night. Hello, sir. Thanks for coming.
Stacy.
Hello, Derek. I assume he's talking to you, or I don't know.
Can't tell these days.
Maybe you, Derek's.
Ahoy, Derek's. No Police Academy 2. I'm sorry, it just didn't make enough money. It was the second highest grossing movie that summer, Ryan. But thanks for coming, anyways. Tiana Loves Movies is here. She's everywhere. Gotta love Tiana. Summer loving. We're having a blast.
Tiana.
Glad
there's your boy saying hi to you, Hook.
What up,
Adam's here. Adam the Movie Hunter. Thank you. Dell's here. I just did a movie swap with him the other day, and he was nice enough to remind me of what movie I watched because it feels like it was ages ago after going on vacation in between. But yeah, go watch Hoodlum. It's pretty good. And he even liked Bubba Hotep enough to watch it again. So
what?
Look at that.
If you're afraid,
at that.
If you're scared of watching Bubba Hotep, he said it was worth watching again just so he can catch all the jokes because it's funny. And yes, we are fabulous, Del. Thank you.
Thanks, Del.
There's Fish. I was worried.
My favorite fish.
Sweet fish. Just like that one.
Sweet. Wow.
Oh, yeah. Ben will be here. Yeah, I'm just an idiot and forgot that he said he wasn't going to be. Thanks for popping in, Garrett. How's it going?
What's going
Keeping
on,
it red, I assume. That's what he does.
Club Red.
Hello.
Tony the Table's here, supporting everyone because that's what the table does.
Mr. Tony.
Just seeing if there's anyone new. The chat keeps going away. What the hell's happening?
Oh,
There's my brother Bob.
That's
Saying
weird.
ahoy to all of us
Hey,
here.
Bob.
Bobby Blue.
Oh. I thought you were brothers at first.
Yeah, I
so
did
much.
too.
Who says we aren't? We're half
you
brothers.
guys know
We
each
have
other.
the same mom. We have different dads.
Step
That's
brothers.
the lore.
Yeah, they
Oh,
dragged
yeah.
that news out.
That's the
All
joke.
those
Keep
activities.
it going, apparently. I don't know why it started, but there we go. Arcaby Blues, thanks for being here,
Oh, Nemo.
Oh, Nemo. Oh, too
Hey,
late for
Ben.
your opinion.
Too late.
Planet
Full
Mondo.
Nemo.
Good job on that logo, by the way, Planet Mondo. Mel popped in here. I'm just going to go through until I see everyone who hasn't already said something.
Mel. Namaste.
Hey,
Where's
Mel.
Justin? We got the other two in here. What's Justin doing? Everyone's saying hello to everybody. I'm just scrolling really fast to see if there's anyone I haven't noticed before, and I don't think so.
There's a lot of hellos
comments in here. There's a lot of comments in here. Hey, there's someone.
John Doe Juggalo.
John Doe Juggalo. I'm like, I know that name, but I can't read because my glasses are terrible. John Doe Juggalo. How are those Incredible Clown Posse people?
I was literally just listening to Miracles before this stream. I'm not even joking.
Get out.
I seriously was. It's probably. I bet I still got it pulled up.
That's awesome. My buddy, who's also named Derek, just to make it confusing even more so, has two Insane Clown Posse tattoos on his arms that he regrets heavily. There's Cody. He's probably gonna tell everyone to smash that like button at some point. Or
Roundhouse.
Hey, Cody.
There it is. That's the stuff.
There
Roundhouse.
it is.
That like button.
All right, let me go hit it.
Was it? And yeah, I think that's everybody. Okay, we're good. I just don't like to try to ignore people. I don't care about everyone saying hi to each other, but
The
what are you
comments
gonna do?
will not be ignored, Derek.
Not be
All right,
ignored.
Glenn Close.
Here's what is next.
Oh, goodness.
Shrek. That movie that everyone likes now, I guess. I mean, I like it, but I mean, people are like obsessed with that thing nowadays. And Independence Day from 1996. So, yeah, let's start on the bottom. I mean, we got to write it down first. Hey, see, this is new to me. Even I don't have a sketch of either of these movies, so I actually have to like write something. There we go. Everyone got their picks?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm looking around to see what box it could possibly in.
I'm gonna pop this away. I just don't actually like close out the wrong window or something. Alrighty. So this time, like we were saying, we'll show our choices first and then sort of talk about why. That makes more sense instead of just giving it away in our chat. Although KB, you could have gone either way, so I kind of surprised by you. All right. Everyone ready?
Ready.
Yes.
3, 2, 1. Boards.
Oh, look at that drawing.
Oh, look.
I love it.
Wow.
I was gonna draw a big spaceship, but I'm like, I don't have time for that. And then Huck does even more so.
Huck, you're a cartoonist
I was so
too.
lazy, I didn't even write the whole name of the movie down. So Independence.
The Derricks
Day
can't spell independence.
Dude,
I'm looking at it. I can spell it. I just don't want to.
ID4.
D in the
ID4.
whole second half of the word. Mine said independence. I'm like, where's the dents?
Is it ants or ants? Is where my mind always goes.
It's all
Indie.
E's. I've learned that it's all
Indie Day.
E's.
All E's.
Yep. Independence.
Because I was the same way until I figured out a trick.
I'm going to click Independence Day before I forget what's going on here. There we go.
Like the word
okay. Let's start with KB. Why didn't you pick Independence Day?
Well, first of all, two great picks. Kind of hard to choose between because I think Shrek really surprised people with how good it was. Basically, the voice acting was just, I mean, putting Michael Myers and Mike Myers and Eddie Murphy together. That's like comedy gold. But Independence Day, I just remember that was like the thing we were talking about since like April, waiting for it to come out, and really like that kind of reinvigorated the summer blockbusters that was kind of like fading for a while. And then after that, I mean, Will Smith was everywhere. Pretty much you expected every summer we get a Will Smith movie. But as far as lasting power, I'll quickly pull up Shrek to watch instead of ID4. Like on July 4th, I wouldn't even think about watching that as much as, you know, our friend the shark. So I'll quicker watch that. If I had to watch one movie on July 4th, it wouldn't be Independence Day.
Fair enough. They said Our Friend the Shark. I'm like, that's a weird movie to watch. I'm like, oh, you mean John?
Well, I could watch it on July 3rd.
Yeah.
If you want to be technical, but
yeah, if you want to Independence Day,
Yeah.
it starts on July 2nd or 3rd, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, second.
Yeah. Huck, why did you make such a wonderful drawing for us?
That was beautiful.
You're winning the art contest.
You're a very clean artist.
You are.
Yeah.
All right, so okay, I love them both. Like KB, you nailed it with Shrek. Everything about that vocal talent in that film makes Shrek one of my favorite animated films of all time. The comedy's on point, performances are on point. This was a really close one for me. I was trying to think which one have I seen more, but the reason Independence nudged it out just a little bit is you were talking about how people were talking about it until it came out. That was a testament to those brilliant teasers. Not even the trailer yet, but the teaser when all the people were coming out and they were just looking in the sky and those ships were punching through the clouds. And I was just like, oh my God, like I'm a sci-fi nut, as you know, and that kind of alien thing just flipped me out. And the tension building with those sound effects on the July 2nd, July 4th, and everybody's looking up. And I was just like, oh my God, this looks to me like the best movie of all time. And I'm like, it's not going to hold up. There's no way this movie is going to come out and be as good as this trailer. And when it came out and it was as good, if not better than that trailer promised it should be, I was so thrilled. And the cast is stacked. It's got very much like a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. It's got sci-fi, it's got adventure, and it's got comedy. And I recently watched it with my daughter to see if she would like it. We always pray as a parent, like, please like the movies I like. And she liked it as well. So I'm like, all right. So it just nudged it out for me for all those amazing reasons.
That is one of the best trailers of all time. When they finally dropped the trailer and they showed the White House getting blown up.
Oh my God.
We were like, what the?
Yeah.
Right? Just thinking about it now.
Mm-hmm.
My kid's invading the room for some reason all of a sudden. Let's go to you, Mr. Pure Hangout, while I mute my thing, just in case he wants to talk to me.
Okay, so I guess I'm gonna make myself out to be a hypocrite because there was a second Independence Day movie, but it's so bad that I forget about it. It to the point to where it doesn't diminish the first film. I remember those special effects. I thought they were amazing in that movie. And there was this like children's program, young adult program on, I think it was Saturday mornings or Sunday mornings called, I think it was just called Movie Magic maybe, or Behind the Scenes Movie Magic. I can't remember. Danny Tamborelli was from Pete and Pete. He was one of the hosts. And I remember they showed all the special effects and how that was done. And I grew up wanting to be a pyrotechnician or making small models or something like that. I wasn't good enough in chemistry to be a pyrotechnician, but I did, forge my way into art, not within the movies, but making art about movies. And I feel like, watching that show, learning about the behind the scenes of this movie and all those special effects, I don't know, it had a huge impact. And then, like you said, the movie, it held up. Like when we saw it in theaters, it was amazing. And then Shrek, I do really like Shrek, and it was a really cool stage for Disney because it was a second time where Disney had competition. Because remember when Don Bluth came out, it was like, uh-oh, what's going on? Disney's not as good anymore. Don Bluth is taking over animation. And then that's sort of what it seemed like here for a moment with DreamWorks, because that movie was so good, and it was sort of thumbing its nose a little bit, spoofing everything that Disney had done before. So it's like, how does Disney even move forward now? Now that it's like it put a stop to Disney movies almost because of how heavily it spoofed it. Obviously didn't put an end to it, but it was interesting to see that competition show up for Disney. So, but yeah, ultimately Independence Day. That's the one I watched the most growing up as a kid and have a lot of nostalgia for.
Same. Yeah. The point about DreamWorks in general. I unmuted myself, right? Yeah.
What is that?
Like at the time, right? I loved Shrek when it came out. I thought it was hilarious. I worked at the theater at the time, but I still think I saw it like 3 times in theaters, and I bought it on DVD when it came out. Watched it a million times. Not a fan of any of the sequels, including the second one, which could have been on this list, but I chose not to put it on because I already had one Shrek, and it's better. But and like Heinz in 2020 vision of the future here. In hindsight, I would have taken Monsters Inc. over Shrek at the Oscars 1,000 times over, having watched them over the last 2 decades. But I still like Shrek, but it's fine. Like it went from being like really good and original and funny to being like, oh, this is okay, and all the pop culture references just became annoying to me, and it loses a lot of replay value because of that. As much as I still enjoy the first one, but it's like whatever. Independence Day is that's a blockbuster movie. Not only is it
True.
a fantastic one,
Yeah,
I was like
True.
obsessed with, and it was like the best thing ever, at least in 1996. But yeah, that is a blockbuster movie. Period. Like there's no argument there, in my opinion. So that's the main reason I picked it. I'm just more nostalgic for it. I'd rather watch that than watch Shrek again, as well. But yeah, I love Independence Day. What can I say?
and it does feel like the blockbuster movie. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's a blockbuster movie. Like Shrek could have come out any time of the year. It'd have been like, yeah, that's pretty good.
Right.
Just happened to come out in May. Like there's a blockbuster movie, summer blockbusters, and then movies that happen to come out in the summer and did well.
Right.
And those are the ones that are going to get weeded out as we go, I feel. Hey, here he is. Just in time.
Hey guys.
Hey, Ben.
Sorry, I forgot you said you were going to be late.
It's all right.
I'm forgetful. But yeah. So what you've missed so far, you only did 2 rounds so far. It was Guardians of the Galaxy beating out Finding Nemo, and then we just did Independence Day beating out Shrek. So we're losing animated movies left and right over here.
All right.
Gus showed up while we were talking, so I just want to say hi to Gus.
What's up, Gus?
Hey, Gus.
Good.
Got my marker somewhere.
I
just had it on me, and
there it is. Toy.
I found it.
That's awesome.
Cody said, I remember seeing ID4 at my local mall. My grandma took me to KB Toys after to get action. Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
I bought my friend a Jeff Goldblum figure at the Comic-Con once just because it was so stupid looking. I love the movies back then when they all had action figures and none of them looked anything like the movies.
Oh, I know.
Those were the days.
Those were the days. Yeah.
Hey,
now, just to get the likeness means a small figure this big is like $25. And that's just
exactly. Yeah.
They're just like,
game
anymore.
I even remember all the like Batman action figures from like '89 all the way to like Batman Robin, and there was stuff that wasn't even in the movies in those lines.
Of course.
Oh yeah, those are the best ones.
Yeah.
My Mr. Freeze figure was my favorite figure.
They just use the same body cast, and then just recolor it and put a parachute on it. And put a gun in his hand.
Put a thing that floats in your bathtub and color them yellow and black.
Right.
That was like Aliens also, and Alien 3. I remember that they had a bunch of characters that weren't even in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, like
just things that get killed by aliens.
Yeah.
RoboCop figures, those are the best.
Mm-hmm.
I got one of those.
Crash test dummies.
The Avenger figures. What's that?
Crash test dummies.
Oh yeah, Crash. That's not a movie, but yes, those figures were great.
It was a TV show, but
it would be a movie today if they were as big a hit now.
Very true.
It's a wonderful band, though. I'll give you that. So yeah, this is yeah.
Ooh.
I was gonna say something, but I'll wait. So we have 1990's Ghost, which I love, Best Picture nominee, all that fun stuff, and 2002's Spider-Man, the comic book movie that proved that yes, you could make the comic book movie look like the comic book and still be good in the 2000s, because they were scared to do that for some reason at that time. So I'll have everyone write down their answers.
Hang on.
So Ben, since you missed it, we're going to write down our answers first, show them, and then say why, essentially.
Okay.
I think I'm going to agree with the majority this time.
You're going Ghost, right? Is everyone ready? Can I remove the thing?
Yep.
I can still see it, obviously. So if you need me, I can tell you. Is everyone ready?
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Show them. Yeah. I'm just gonna hold up my Spider-Man glass with Tobey Maguire on it right here. Ooh, we got a ghost.
Just one.
It's been.
Oh, you got to start with
so
him.
That's just like after that last time. I'm like, I'm just gonna start with whoever disagrees if that's the case. So yeah, what's up?
I don't know, like, everything you just said that I agreed with about what feels like a blockbuster movie, I guess just sort of went out the window here. I was like, yeah, those are great points. That's great. I'm chugging forward like that. But I don't know, with those Spider-Man movies, and I know I'm trying my hardest to just think about the movie on its own, but when I think of that trilogy, that one to me, I mean, I guess it would be like second to me, but I think of part 2, and I just think that is so much better, leagues above. But I don't know. I feel like I could really go. I could convince myself to go for Spider-Man, but I don't know. With Ghost, I just really love that movie and have a longer period of nostalgia for it because it came out so long ago. And Whoopi Goldberg, I loved watching her as a kid. I thought she was one of the funniest actresses out there. And I just have a pretty long-standing nostalgia for Ghost.
I love, me too. I love Ghost, but not as much as Spider-Man. All right, Huck, how about you?
Oh yeah, saying I love that you did pick Ghost because it is an absolutely beautiful film. Performances are fantastic. If this was maybe up against some other like equal drama kind, I would have picked that. But the Raimi Spider-Man, it's just what you said. They weren't afraid, especially coming after the X-Men, which was just all black leather jumpsuits. Yeah. I'm like, oh man, we don't get any taste of what they look like in the comics. And then thank God, like Spider-Man came out and he was red and he was blue and he had the eyes. I'm like, man, see, you can make the character as goofy as they look in the comics look beautiful on screen, comic book accurate. And Tobey was an inspired choice. He was, I never would have pictured him as someone who could do these stunts, and he got himself ripped, for the part. So you got to give it up to just kind of like what you would normally look at him as a scrawny kid. I mean, he just proved that he was Peter Parker. And look, I can even look in and find goodness, and everyone loves to trash the third one, but there are things about the third I really like. I kind of dismiss some of the lame stuff, but like Thomas Hayden Church as Sandman was another pulled off the comics and put right on the page. He, like, Thomas looks the part in the face, and they got the costume right. So just starting off with the first Spider-Man and Raimi taking the reins, I have to just go Spider-Man.
JB.
If this was Spider-Man 3, I probably would have gone for it, actually. I think it's the worst of them, but it has some of the best.
Peter Parker.
The best Spider-Man stuff? Is that what you're going to say? Oh, he froze! Hang on.
Sorry. It has some of the best emotional beats, I think, of the 3. Spider-Man 3 does. So, even though I like that one the least, I think it has some of the best moments in it.
It does have a lot of great things in it. It just has a few really bad things that weighted down.
Yeah.
Oh, it's too bad. It's too bad. Should have just been 2 movies, but all right. KB, how about you?
Should have been 4.
I will say Ghost was great because I don't think anyone expected it to be such the hit and such a blockbuster movie that it was. I mean, it brought back Unchained Melody back on the top of the charts, and people were taking pottery classes together. You had some great moments. Like Derek said, you had Whoopi with a great performance as well. And it was great. I mean, I don't know how many times my mom and my aunt went with me to see it in the theaters, probably like 2-3 times. But Spider-Man, like you said, Spider-Man was like Spider-Man in the comic books, and Sam Raimi, and oh my gosh, talking about trailers once again, that trailer and also the poster, very infamous because it got taken down.
The teaser
right after. Right after 9/11. So that was impactful because people would see that trailer and be like, "Oh my gosh, that's not standing there anymore. So just remembering the time, and then everything. I mean, we wouldn't have Tom Holland today if we didn't have a successful Spider-Man back then. So and being a comic book fan, I really felt like the X-Men movies were great, but that's when I felt like comic books were on the screen to where I always wanted them to be for the first time.
Exactly. Mr. Ben, how goes you?
I got when I think of Blockbuster, I think of a movie that I could go back and see over and over and over and over again in theaters. And for me, that was Spider-Man. Like it just had everything, like Huck said, it came off the page. Despite the goblin, the way it looked. But anyway.
Yeah, that was the only miss.
They still have to do Hollywood.
Yeah.
Well, Power Rangers.
I'll take that over black leather spandex any day.
I would take that over the Electro we got. So in the one,
Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Oh god.
But I mean, you had everything there. You had Joe Magliano as Flash in there.
Yeah.
You had Peter. You had Mary Jane. You had all these characters you loved in this comic book come to life. And to me, it's just like I was watching that animated series in the 90s. And then I said, oh, Spider-Man's coming out. Go and see that. I'm going, oh, this is just like what I watched on TV. Okay. Whereas I've seen Ghost numerous times. Yes, I like it. But I love Spider-Man more.
And a great Aunt May and a great Uncle Ben.
Yes.
Yeah. They Aunt May especially, I'm like, that's Aunt May.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
And it has to win because of Bruce Campbell in there too.
That too. Yeah. That's the secret thing. And also, J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson is like the greatest of any character in the history of cinema.
Even now.
Yeah.
And he's still doing it. Exactly.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I saw Spider-Man 5 times in theaters when it came out, which is I think that's the most I've ever seen a movie in theaters. I've seen multiple movies that many times, but that was one of them. And,
the second Spider-Man is for me the most watched theater movie.
Oh yeah, I think I saw.
I can't count it though because I worked at a movie theater. Like I lost track. I saw it so many times.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I think the second one for me showed growth in not only the character of Peter, but his relationships with everyone around him.
Yeah.
Because you had Doc Ock who hits close to home with Peter and everything. So.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I would have considered putting Spider-Man 2 on this list, but Shrek 2 had to go and make slightly more money than it, so it was number 2 that summer. But yeah, I mean, I'm a lifelong superhero nerd, and I've always been a Marvel fan, and I always grew up with Superman, the movie, and the Batman movies with Michael Keaton and stuff, and they're great. And I was so excited for Blade just to see a Marvel movie in theaters for the first time in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And X-Men, I had heart palpitations. I was so excited sitting in the theater.
Oh,
yeah. Same for this movie. I'm not even exaggerating. I also have a heart condition, so that's probably part of it. But that just shows how excited I was.
Me to laugh.
But
that's what caused it.
I've probably seen Ghost like 100 times when I was a kid because I used to have it on tape and I watched it constantly. But Spider-Man is like my childhood put on the screen, and it happened to be made by the guy who did the Evil Dead movies, which I was obsessed with. Exactly at the same time Spider-Man came out. So there you go.
Darkman. And Darkman.
Darkman is also awesome.
Darkman.
Mm-hmm.
Can't forget.
They just couldn't let him do Batman, so he had to go up and make his own superhero. All right, I'm getting like my thing ready, and I haven't even shown the screen yet.
Let's do it. Oh yeah, where are we at?
We are at Who Framed Roger Rabbit versus, that's a weird poster, it's hard to tell what it is, kind of, versus The Omen. Ooh.
Once again, I could have pulled that.
All right. Oof. Everyone good? Can take the thingy away?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1, and flip them. I drew a crudely drawn rabbit.
That's really good.
Sort of resembles the poster.
Is that a sweep?
That's a Roger Rabbit sweep.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm not surprised, honestly, but
that was easy.
Yeah.
All the time, you pulled my ears, Eddie.
I can't do it very good, but I can do the lip part, but not the voice part. All right. Well, no one voted against it, so I don't know who to start with. So let's just go Binbuster since he's new here.
I mean, Roger Rabbit had just about everything you could ask for as a kid. You had Warner Brothers cartoons, you had Disney cartoons together. You had Christopher Lloyd as the judge in there, which was a cartoon of himself, pretty much. For those reasons, that's why I voted that, and I don't really like the Omen, so
that's a good reason. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll go because I haven't gone anything but last yet. I like both of these movies. Let me rephrase that. I like The Omen. It's good. It's one of the better movies like that from its time period. Having watched it a few times, I enjoy it. I actually like the Omen trilogy. I know there's 4 of them. I don't count that one because it's a different story. But the Omen trilogy, I actually think is an underrated trilogy. I say you should go watch it if you haven't seen Omens Part 2 and 3. They're pretty good. Omen 4 is so bad, it's hilarious. So you should watch that for that reason. But Roger Rabbit is like a technical marvel beyond most movies. Like it's like Star Wars level impressive, the technical feats that went on making that movie with the animation direction and just the visual effects and how they had to shoot it. And I mean, go watch the behind the scenes things. It's amazing. I won't go into it too far, but yeah, Roger Rabbit, it has a little bit of everything. It's a comedy, animation, detective noir thriller. And The Omen is a movie about the kid who's the devil. That's, what more do you want? How about you, Derek?
So The Omen, I just watched this week or last week, over the weekend, I can't remember, recently. And the whole time I was watching it, like I was really hoping I'd be able to vote for it. Because I was like, man, they just don't make movies like this anymore. Like movies do not feel like this. Like Atticus Finch, what's his name? I can't think of it right now.
Robert Mitchum.
No,
wait, that was Robert.
Gregory Peck.
Gregory Peck. Okay, yeah. I'm like,
yeah.
Gregory Peck, like, he was like too old for that role. And he's like barely moving. He's like kind of lumbering across the screen. And it was like, this is amazing. Like when you watch old Charlton Heston movies or Charlton Heston movies when he's old, he's kind of doing the same thing. Like I Am Legend, or sorry, the Omega Man. He's just kind of doing the same thing. He's too old for the part. And I was like, man, they just don't make him like this anymore. This is so cool. I can't wait to vote for this, but can't vote for it because Roger Rabbit, like you said, is an enormous technical achievement, incredibly entertaining. And the whole time you're watching, it's like, how did they do this? How did they do it? And just, putting all of that animation and live action together so seamlessly. But then also now that I'm older, how did they get all these companies to work together? I mean, Don Bluth worked on this, and he just sort of like left the Disney company at, not that long before, like butted heads with them. And then, like Tex Avery stuff, Warner Brothers stuff. It was just like, it was all together. And it's like, how, like, could this even happen today? I mean, I guess it kind of did with like Wreck-It Ralph in a way, and maybe like the Chip and Dale movie. I didn't watch that yet. I haven't watched that yet, but it's just kind of impressive that all of that was able to even happen. I'm sure lawyers were well paid.
Yeah. Well, I know they had to have exact same screen time for Bugs and Mickey. That was one of the requirements. Like all their characters, like the Daffy Donald scene, they had to have the exact same amount of screen time, and the Bugs Mickey scene, they had to have the exact same amount of screen time. Which that's fair. If that's what it takes to make that movie exist, then I'm more than happy for it. So
right.
How about you, Huck?
I'm just thinking of that scene where they're falling at the same time, they're in the shot at the same time. That's that movie. It's almost like Back to the Future for me. When I put that movie on, I'm immediately in a good space. I feel comfortable with that film. I feel entertained by that film from frame to frame, start to finish. It's just a masterful piece. It's Zemeckis, someone coming off of Back to the Future. It's like he's just really showing the kind of skill he possesses. And I wish we, could have gotten another one of those, but I also like that it's just a diamond in the rough. It's something that would never happen again. It's like, when you look at it, it's like, oh, if we were to get a Marvel DC crossover, that's what it would feel like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you got Iron Man on the screen, well, you better have Batman on the screen the same amount of time, and just, so yeah, and the vocal work it's Charles Fleischer, right, doing the,
Yep.
the Roger Rabbit, he's so good. So yeah, it's just terrific. I just love that film. It's like I consider that one of the perfect films.
Yeah.
Directing, acting, cinematography, blending of animation is just terrific.
How about you, KB?
Well, I'll start off with the Omen and say, for its time and the audience, it was shocking. And I think a lot of people went back to the theaters the same way they went back to see Exorcist or whatever the case may be, just for that shock value. But like you've all said, Roger Rabbit, besides being a technical marvel, it was a licensing marvel. Like you said, to have Mickey and Bugs on the screen at the same time is amazing. And we've seen animation and live action together going back to, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and whatnot. So, but to see it modernized and to see all those characters, and I know for me and a lot of people, it was also an Easter egg fest. You wanted to go back in the theaters and see it again and again to see how many of those old characters that you could see in there that they might just show up for a couple of frames, but you wanted to see it. And we didn't know. We had to wait, a year plus for video back then. So we didn't know when we would see it again. So, waiting for the VHS to come out was going to take longer than you just going back to the theater and seeing it again. So I still watch it in marble. Like you said, Huck, it's like you're a kid again just watching it.
So good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh, and happy birthday to Caprice, by the way.
I'll pop in a chat here quick before we show the next one. See who popped in here. Yeah, Pop of the Popcorn. Hi, everybody.
Kitty! I'm going to be on her channel soon.
Oh, nice. Well, thanks for coming here. I appreciate it. Everyone's saying ahoy hoy to everybody here. I saw other new people. Where are they?
They're in there. Kenny's there.
There's Draculina horror.
Yes.
Birthday
Sorry,
girl.
we just voted off the horror movie right when he got here, but I'm not in charge. Well, I am, but not really. Double feature podcast. The Omen. Oh, I apologize.
Of course.
The Omen. Yeah, that's a good spooky movie, but
I like The Omen. The Omen is really, really good. And like I said, watch all three of them, and then watch the fourth one and laugh at it because it's so bad. It's hilarious.
And that box set goes on sale often, right? That nice little Omen
it's cheap enough usually. Yeah, it's like it's been down to like the $30 mark, and there's 5 movies in it, and they're all at least watchable.
That and The Fly, always on sale.
Yep,
Yeah.
The Fly's
That Fly box set.
The Fly box set's probably not even as good as the Omen box set, I'd say, because the Fly one has less movies I'd rewatch. But the Cronenberg Fly is so good, it's worth buying it for.
Oh yeah.
There's Kenny. What's up, y'all?
Kenny Level.
Hey, Ken.
What's up, Kenny?
Ken?
Roger Rabbit. Yeah, all-time top 10.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Roger Rabbit's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
No bad movie. Well, you won't like my channel. I talk about bad movies a lot. So I'm glad you showed up anyways. I appreciate it. All right, then. Here is the next.
Also, Richard Donner directed The Omen.
Yes,
I
yeah.
forgot it. That was like, yeah, when I saw that, I was surprised. If I knew that, it's something I totally forgot. And when his name popped up, I was like, what? That's cool.
Yeah. It
Had
seems
no
just
idea.
like all those other movies. Yeah. Just like Lethal Weapon and Superman. Yeah, I do. I like The Omen a lot. My kid actually likes the music for it. He likes to sing it because he's weird like me. All right.
Yeah.
Next, we have The Lion King. This is actually a tough one, kind of. Versus Men in Black, the other Will Smith summer movie from the mid to late 90s that was number 1 that year.
Ooh, this is hard. Oh, man, this is hard.
Yeah. Damn it.
Favorite Will Smith movie? or at least blockbuster, and my favorite Disney movie of all time. Damn.
Oh God.
I'm going to be in the minority on this one again. I know it.
That is a terrible drawing.
It took me that long to not draw something. I was like, whatever.
I'm changing my mind.
This one was easy for me, actually.
Really? Got to hear your reason why.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if it's so easy, you get to talk first, maybe.
All right.
Depending on who answers what. Everyone good? Done changing your answer?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, this is easily the hardest one so far. Like, this is the only one I actually had to think about. All right, 3, 2, 1. What do you got, kids?
Oh, fuck, that is
Lion
great.
King sweep. Woo.
Oh, wow.
Dang.
Are they unanimous?
Well, KB, why did you switch your answer since you mentioned that?
It's my favorite Disney movie, man. It's Shakespeare. It's freaking James Earl Jones. My kid had the toy that said, "Remember who you are." I heard that for months on end. Oh my gosh, I freaking love the Lion King. I can't tell you why. It's Simba. It's freaking Scar. It's all of it. It's drama and an animated feature. It's beautiful.
The hyenas. Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh,
Make my sandwich.
Yeah.
Jeremy Irons.
At least that's a win in one of our movies that are on here, right? Come on.
And Cheech Marin. Cheech Marin was
Cheech.
Yeah.
Cheech and the third one, but I forget who did that.
Well,
that was the voice of Winnie the Pooh.
It was Frank Welker, right? Because he was just a
Oh yeah, he's like the guy who does voices and everything.
Frank Welker's the guy you go to.
It was Welker? Oh, okay. I thought it was the guy who did Winnie the Pooh's voice.
Oh, is that Jim Cummings? Maybe it was Jim.
This is like a great
I think it might have been.
This is a great sci-fi comedy. You gotta love Men in Black.
Yeah.
I do love Men in Black, but
yeah, Men in Black. I've probably watched Men in Black more, honestly, but
yeah,
like Men in Black came out, which is another like example of a fantastic comic book movie of a comic book no one has ever heard of, and it did amazing in the box office. But that was partially due to Will Smith's star power at the time. But let's all be honest, Tommy Lee Jones is the best part.
Yeah.
Or Vincent.
He's outstanding.
Yeah,
that's right.
And Vincent D'Onofrio as the bug guy. Oh God, he's amazing.
Sugar.
You know how much that stings.
My
Best
friend
supporting
and I still
actor.
make water jokes to this day. Oh God. But yeah, Lion King was like an anomaly of Disney because it wasn't supposed to be the good movie that year. That was their B project, and Pocahontas was like their A project. So they put all like these, all the new kids on the Lion King movie, and it ends up being this phenomenon because it's amazing. So
yeah,
I like them both equally, probably for different reasons, but Lion King is the more impressive blockbuster, and but not by much. So yeah, what do you think, Derek?
I'm always surprised when I hear that they thought Pocahontas was going to be the bigger hit because there's very little that appeals to kids with that one. It's almost too dramatic. Lion King, Jonathan Taylor Thomas was huge. I remember every girl that I was in school with loved him. Posters in their locker. All of us, all the boys, we wanted to be him. I wanted to be him so bad. I wanted his haircut. I wanted to be able to rollerblade the way he rollerblades in Man of the House. I just thought he was so cool. And that movie. I mean, Disney Renaissance. I was the perfect age for all of those movies, from Little Mermaid to Lion King. Was just core memory type stuff for me, how I was shaped. So I got to go with that. But Men in Black, I do love that, and I do think Vincent was robbed of a nomination. I think that would have been a great, fantastic comedy supporting actor nomination for the Oscars, but didn't happen. But I got to go Lion King, and it still lives on today. You go to the Disney parks, and it's just as strong as ever. It still feels incredibly relevant.
and not because of the terrible remake.
Yeah, no, it's all animated. All about
It outlived its terrible remake. Something Men in Black couldn't do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Huck, where are you at on the Lion King?
I actually didn't even see the remake because I just love this one so much. I've yet to pull the trigger on that thing because I don't know if I want to see photorealistic lions singing. That just seems not as cute to me. Like I don't see the point. But this one just had so much heart. I mean, just like when Scar, when he's got Simba by the paws and he lets him go and falls to his, and he blames it on the sun and lets the sun think it's his fault. I mean, that is just heartbreaking stuff, and just all the vocal work, Nathan Lane and, I mean, just it's so good. I just enjoy that film. I think it's one of Disney's, top three for me, top three animated films, at least hand-drawn. If you're going to go hand-drawn animation, to me, you got that, Aladdin, and for me, believe it or not, Princess and the Frog. That thing is so underrated. It is so good. And
it hits home.
Yeah. So yeah, as much as I love Men in Black, it's a fun space adventure. Me loving sci-fi, but I think when you have to give credit to an animated movie that has stood the test of time, I got to lean on Lion King for now. However long it's going to stay in the countdown, I don't know. But
we'll see.
For now, it's.
It did what any other animated movie hasn't done so far. Let's give it that. Ben, why'd you go for Lion King? We didn't ask you yet.
There's no, you didn't ask me. If Pocahontas was supposed to be the big movie, you would not have put Elton John at the helm to do some of the songs in here. Well, and then not only that, but Jonathan Taylor Thomas during Home Improvement, they actually made reference to him being Simba. They had the little Simba plush in there with one of his nieces or one of his cousins, and she squeezes it and goes, "Hakuna Matata." It means the words. I thought it meant we're awesome or something like that. Like he was completely doing it differently than what it actually meant. It was part of the Disney Renaissance that came back shortly after Don Bluth almost crushed Disney in the late 80s there. And I mean, up until Mario came out, it was the 10th ranked best animated movie, box office wise of all time. Mario crushed it, so moved Lion King down to number 11. But out of that entire list, it was the only hand-drawn one still on that list until Super Mario came out.
Oh wow, yeah. But if you count inflation, hey,
yeah,
it's probably still number 1.
900, I think it was 989 million it made.
Oh, so, worldwide.
Yeah, worldwide. So it was
short. Yeah.
It was that close to $1 billion. So
wow, that's crazy. I suppose that has re-releases and stuff too. That's why my friend actually worked on the 3D conversion for the re-release for Lion King. It was weird. I went and saw it in theaters with him. I'm like, that's strange because he doesn't do that really. The Lion, since we mentioned the Men in Black villain being amazing, Lion King also has an amazing villain because Scar is fantastic.
Oh, Scar is great.
Jeremy Irons. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Here's another animated movie. There's more of them on here than I remember. They're all ended up being on the same side. We have Armageddon from 1998 and The Incredibles 2. That's right.
I could have pulled that.
It came out in the summer and the first one didn't.
Oh, wow.
When was that? 2018? 2017? I forget now. 2018. Because I brought my kid to see it and he was like 1. So he slept through it. It was great. But yeah, Incredibles 2 and Armageddon.
Oh, wait. I got to get my board. I'm just staring at the pictures.
Right, yeah. I'm like, oh, right. They're very orange posters and black. So pick your favorite black and orange poster, everybody.
Liv Tyler.
Steven Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer the actor over the song. Deep in thought.
Oh, okay. That's a long title. Whew. Okay. I didn't think about stupid doodles on the boards. That's even more fun. All right. So everyone ready?
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Flips them. All right. Armageddon.
Oh,
we got it. We got a. We have a defector.
Always.
Does that say Deep Impact down there?
Yes, I have the Armageddon comment coming down here and destroying the Deep Impact.
Oh, that's
here.
funny.
That's just for Tim. Because Armageddon is the superior asteroid movie of 1998.
That is true.
I'm not saying it's a better movie, but it's the superior.
I was going to say, although upon rewatch, I watched it again last year when I was doing Disaster Month, and it has way more heart than Armageddon. Deep Impact.
Yeah.
It surprised me how moving and good that film was. I was very
Deep Impact is objectively the better movie, but Armageddon is just too damn fun.
Armageddon is a full-on popcorn movie, man.
It is.
That sums up Summer Block, and that's when Michael Bay was just putting out like fun, big things like that, and The Rock, and before Transformers became his calling card. I would love to see more of them, Bad Boys, things like that. I want to see more of those kind of movies from him.
Yeah.
I knew we'd see that. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Depp Impact.
Yeah, Johnny Depp.
He corrected himself, so I had to make fun of him. But yeah. So once again, KB, why not Armageddon?
I couldn't get enough of The Incredibles, so I was happy when we got Incredibles 2. And once again, like we were saying before with Nemo, more advancement on the animation. If I remember correctly, that's the one where there was an explosion and they landed in the water. Was it that one or the first one?
The first one, the plane explodes and they land in the water.
Yeah. But even from then to the second one, there was just improvement on the animation, and Armageddon is just cheese fest, man. It's fun, but I have to be honest, I only watch it for Liv Tyler. That's about it.
I watched it for Billy Bob Thornton and his gimpy leg.
We all have preferences.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, Incredibles 2 is great, actually. Like, some of them, brought my kid to that one. But yeah,
it just seems like a continuation of the first one, and I mean that's what I wanted it in it. So it delivered.
That's the beauty of animated sequels. You can do that even if it's 14 years later or whatever it was,
Mm-hmm.
I think the only thing they had to recast was Dash, and it's like, whatever, sounds like a boy.
Should be older.
Actor.
Yeah.
And it's easily the best Pixar sequel that's not named Toy Story.
Oh, God, yeah.
Far and away. Like, there's no comparison whatsoever.
Cars 2? No.
Yeah.
I like Monsters University, but I mean that's a prequel, but still. And Finding Dory, as we already mentioned.
I think I probably like Dory more than Incredibles 2.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, Incredibles 2, I don't know. When I watched it, I was like, I don't know. I feel like this waited too long. My interest just...
Oh, it was a long time.
Yeah. I just was not interested at all. As I was watching it, I was feeling like, I can't wait till this is over.
I felt that way for
I'm going to watch Star Wars again.
That's always a good choice.
So since you felt that way about Incredibles 2, what makes Armageddon so much better, Derek?
Well, so like albums, when it comes to most listened to album or any CD in my life, it's probably the Armageddon soundtrack. All of those Aerosmith songs were great in it, and then they had some additional songs as well. And then I Don't Want to Miss a Thing was huge and sort of became my dad and stepmom's song. So anytime we're at a wedding, they always request that one, and it's so fun to watch them like scurry onto the dance floor, dance to that. So it's like sort of it's been like passed down. So me and my wife, when we go to a wedding, we'll like request it also. But yeah, the movie, I do think though, the movie does lag a little bit once like the action's happening, but I really love when they're gathering the team, when we're meeting the team. All of that is great, learning about all of these very different personalities. They sort of feel like a superhero group in a way. And you have Owen Wilson, very silly guy. You have very strong bear, and Michael Clark Duncan. Then you have the young kid with Ben Affleck, who's not listening to the leader, Bruce Willis. So I really like that dynamic. And then there's a Chicago guy, I can't remember his name. He was on a TV show called Herman's Head, and he's also the Santa Claus in in Home Alone. Yeah, and I like
he's great.
Grew up, he's like a Chicago guy, I know. But yeah, I just love that forming of the team and getting them together and trying to make them work together. But then once they start dying off, there's a little less interesting, but I still think it's very emotional. I remember there was a lot of talk about how loud that movie was. Was it did it do something fresh and new in terms of sound? I remember that sort of being like one of the talking points when it was released.
I don't know if it did anything new, but it definitely has amazing sound. That was the first movie I watched when I got my surround sound on my first DVD player.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that was a big talking point, how loud the movie was.
That's funny. Still how loud it is.
On the news, hearing that. But yeah, I love that movie so much.
Huck, why do you love Armageddon, and why is it so much better than Deep Impact?
Tim, I'll agree. Deep Impact moved me more for sure. But Armageddon, I just remember, and Derek, like you just said, it's such a stacked cast, and when it is like a big superhero movie. You got everyone's little position and everyone's little purpose, and some make it, some don't, and everyone was really good. Like Ben was fantastic in this film as that plucky little guy, and they were just so cute together with Liv Tyler. I don't know. It was kind of like that big blockbuster I was looking for that summer. And Bruce Willis was at his peak. He could do no wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And look, it's one of two Michael Bay movies that got it on Criterion.
Right.
Albeit DVD, but, by cracky, Criterion thought it was good enough to share on their format. So
exactly. Should bring it back on 4K. That'd be amazing.
That director's cut is not good, though. The theatrical is much better.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's already long enough.
The bonus.
It's like 2.5 hours long already. Oh, Jesus. Ben, how about you? Incredibles.
It wasn't necessarily hating Incredibles. I just can't go past mine and my wife's song from Armageddon. Like that's our song, so it's like if I voted against it, I would not hear the end of it. So.
That's right.
She comes down and slap you one.
Yeah. Happy wife, happy life. Come on.
Yep. It's also the song I danced with my mom at my wedding, so it's apparently the official wedding song.
Yeah,
YouTubers everywhere.
And Steve Buscemi is the super genius.
Yeah, Steve Buscemi is the best part.
Great,
and him. I forgot to say it.
Yeah.
Too.
And then there was a guy that was completely cut out, but he's in the background named Freddie Newman, and he dies right away. But they don't even wrangle him up. But he's one of the.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, you're right. He's like they're at the strip club, and it's like, oh, that guy who's there.
Yeah, yeah.
I forgot about that. God, that's weird.
Completely ignored.
And Will Patton's really good in it. I like Will Patton's character a lot.
Oh yeah.
His part's the one that makes me cry. When April O'Neil is, like, that's your daddy or whatever. And
that's April O'Neil's, right?
April O'Neil. Can I just say that I don't care what happens the rest of this live stream. We got a Herman's Head reference. So nothing can top that.
I mean, we're good to go. It's funny you said that.
Now.
I'm literally looking at it now just so we could give notice to Ken Hudson Campbell. That's our guy.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Santa Claus.
I love him.
Yeah, he's good in it.
So
good.
I
always like him popping up and everything. That's great.
Used to love that show.
We're done.
Unless you bring up a Dream On reference from HBO, and then it gets better.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
Okay, this one seems unfair. I'm going to pop it up here, but we got to. It's our job, right? We have Rambo, First Blood Part 2, or 2, if you want to go the Hot Shots route, and a little movie called Jurassic Park, which is one of, I think, 3 Steven Spielberg movies on this list, if I'm remembering correctly. So yeah, Jurassic Park versus Rambo 2.
I feel bad for not breaking it out.
Rambo 2.
Sorry, Tim.
Right. Rambo 2.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that was. That was weird. I just turned my alarm on in my car because my keys are in my pocket. Me. Got it. I'm gonna put those over there. Okay. We good? We're all good? We're all good? So we got Jurassic Park versus Rambo 2. 3, 2, 1, go.
Sorry,
All
Tim.
Sorry, Newman's amazing. He's Newman. I had to look for this.
That's awesome.
Nedry.
Head shakes and
That's
everything.
awesome.
What? That's the best part about having a 5-year-old. You can grab their toys for live streams. Okay. So Jurassic Park.
Nobody cares.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that Rambo raised the stakes from the first one to, it turned it from like sort of a drama with some actiony moments, because it really was a drama. Like if you watch First Blood, it's not an action film, but full on Rambo 2 is about as big of a gunfest spectacle as you can get. And I think it redefined that character for Stallone, which helped it, because I don't think you could do a drama with him that it's just like Rocky, it's really a drama about boxing, but 3 and 4, those are like superhero boxing movies. They're, better looking bodies and better fights and all that. And I think that's what he turned his Rambo franchise in with that. So I definitely give it credit for that. But I mean, there's just no, he chomps Rambo in half. That's all there is to it. JP, man, you got fantastic directing by Spielberg. I love that it was him that took this and used. I guess I'm going first. I'm just talking. So
you're good.
And that he used the CGI instead of the stop motion. I think that created a realism that we haven't seen before, and it was absolutely perfect for this film. Great cast. Yeah, I mean, it's just it's so rewatchable too. It's so good. Yeah. It's about all of them.
One of the most rewatchable movies I've ever seen. It's my wife's favorite movie too. So if I didn't pick it, she'd come down and beat me. But I also haven't seen Rambo 2, and it's an easy choice for me, even though it's kind of unfair to vote against it. But just the fact that, like you already said, Rambo 1 is like a dramatic quasi-action movie it's like a character drama more than anything else.
Yeah.
And then it just becomes like this action cheese fest for the next 4 or 5 movies, however many there are now. You remember?
Yeah.
It's just like it's 2 completely different genres and movies. It just happens to be the same character, but is it really?
Draculina, that's funny.
Oh, she's saying funny things now?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Put Rambo Although Rambo would try to fight it as long as he could.
Hold his mouth open.
That T-Rex would have a Bowie knife inside of its mouth.
Somehow he'd carve his way out. I ain't going down.
No, I would say Rambo First Blood Part 2 made it a franchise. I mean, the first one kind of was like a movie about PTSD before we knew what that was. And then the second one made it an action movie, like you said, Huck. But it really, I think that's where the franchise really began, because then they were thinking about 3 and 4 and so forth. But man, Jurassic Park, first of all, great book. Go back and read the book if you didn't read the Michael Crichton book. And I remember reading that book and saying, there's no way they'd put this on screen, but leave it up to Spielberg to do it. And you mentioned the CGI versus stop motion, but what about the use of practical effects? And,
I love it.
And like
Stan Winston stuff.
Stan Winston. Dinosaur consultant Stan Winston. That is his proper title and credit in the movies. But it's crazy. It's crazy that, you could go back, what was that, 1990? And it still holds up today? 90, 91?
93.
93. Okay, so we're talking, what, 30 years?
T2. It's like the big thing after T2 came out, yeah.
Yeah.
It still looks good, too. It still looks better than, like, anything.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it looks fantastic.
That 4K is amazing. That 4K is amazing. It sounds amazing. I can't remember how many times I saw it in the theater, but it wasn't enough.
I only saw it once, but I loved it, and I had it on VHS, and I've watched it 1,000 times, so it's enough for me.
Yep.
Then, how much do you love Jurassic Park?
Jurassic Park is the movie that made me fall in love with Michael Crichton as an author.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, like I mean, growing up, what I was reading was pretty much just comic books. I wasn't much of a reader. When Jurassic Park came out, I found out it was a book. I'm like, I got to read this. Yeah, it was a little bit over my head at the time because you're talking 93. I was 9, 10 years old. So it's a little over my head, but I still have that original copy that I first got.
Nice.
Still read that to this day. And it, like I said, drew my love for his world building, his character building of Michael Crichton. From everything from Andromeda Strain to Rising Sun to Lost World to Congo, his Sphere, his Jack Lang stuff when he wrote under his pseudonym. It sparked my love for Michael Crichton as an author. So that's why I voted Jurassic Park.
And Tim is right. You don't normally get to say that the movie is better than the book, but this is one of the few times.
Yeah, Crichton actually had his hand in improving the screenplay too.
He did. He opened it up.
And Phil Tippett was a terrible dinosaur supervisor or whatever. What was he? His credit was Phil Tippett because he was in charge of the go.
He had one job.
Use or whatever.
I know. He was just
poor guy.
Job.
All right. So this is the last bracket of the first half. All the first movies we're going to see. So I'm guessing on the next few rounds, I'll go a little bit quicker since we've already talked about all the movies.
Right on.
But this one we'll talk probably not very long on either because it's like the last matchup. It's a little unfair, but I'm kind of glad it worked out this way because it makes it really easy.
I did want to say really quick. Oh, I did want to say Jurassic Park was the first movie I saw on opening day, and that was a whole new experience. Tiki torches and everything.
Nice. They got your local theater had that?
Yeah. And the news interviewed me. That was asking me if I was scared, and I did sleep with a nightlight that night.
My wife said she saw it in theaters, and she had to go into the cry room. Remember those things?
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
I was like, oh yeah, those existed. I forgot.
Also, that Rambo, rated R, but also manifested a cartoon for children.
Yeah. That's the good old days. Yeah, when you could have cartoons and action figures and stuff for rated R movies. Oh yeah. How I miss it so. Okay, let's get this out of here. Jaws, Beverly Hills Cop 2. I forgot to say what they were, but that's what they were. Jaws and Beverly Hills Cop 2. But it doesn't really matter. I feel bad. All right. 3, 2, 1. Do we all draw sharks? Oh, okay. Yours looks slightly more to scale than mine. I should have just done this.
Yours looks like he's balancing.
Too lazy.
You're balancing her on your nose.
Yeah. They're doing a trick on mine.
Like a snack.
So Jaws wins. That's not surprising. The original Blockbuster. That's the reason we have the phrase Blockbuster is because of Jaws. The first movie to make over $100 million in its initial release, and it managed to make, what, 250 or so, right?
Derek, look at Nice.
Just slowly erasing my Jaws mouth here. But yeah, this is the other one that I haven't seen is Beverly Hills Cop 2, but there's few things, Blockbuster or not, that would beat Jaws. So that was an easy choice for me.
Let's see the whole thing.
It literally is the definition of the word, Jaws. All right. Oh, that's cool, Bruce. Is that an actual Bruce or just a shark you have?
Just a shark. I've had this for as long as I can remember. Jaws was probably my first favorite movie.
Nice. It was my parents' favorite movie. But they're divorced, so what does that mean, right?
Hey, that was a topic in the
Wow.
movie, so.
Right? Hey, yeah. Maybe they're like, wait, that's us.
Mhm.
Without the divorce. All right, Derek, why do you have your Bruce, and why is Jaws so great?
I mean, it's interesting because sometimes it's lumped into horror, but it was like a family film. I grew up watching it as that's one of the first movies I remember watching, seeing at home, and I think kids like dinosaurs, just have an interest in sharks, so it was just sort of like a perfect movie for a little kid to watch, and sort of maybe an entry point into horror.
Yeah.
That's where I maybe learned about Steven Spielberg and who he was, and that people make movies. But all this would have been like through VHS or TV. I don't know if it was being shown on TV when I was that young, but just renting it. I think my neighbors maybe had it or something. But yeah, it was extremely thrilling, and we get to see a shark in it. And as a little kid, that was just amazing. It was awesome, and it still works as an adult.
Yeah. I never thought the shark looked as fake as it is, personally. Even now when I watch it, I'm like, it looks fine.
The editing makes it look okay, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hence the Oscar.
Yeah. It was all done just right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just love this like that scene, that iconic scene when Roy Scheider's shoveling the chum, and that shark slowly pops out and snaps its mouth open. I remember seeing that because, again, I didn't see it in its first run, but it came out as a re-release, and I held off seeing it on video and all that. I hadn't even seen it until it was in that theater, and when that thing slaps its mouth open, yeah, it kind of bounces a little, but I mean, still, it looked like a terrifying. Maybe that's what a giant, heavy shark does when it opens its mouth. It's got a lot of weight in its jaws, and
Right.
when Shaw slides down into it, and it just boom, and it bites him in half, and oh my god, it's like, oh, like you could just feel it. You could feel him in the mouth.
You could feel the crunches.
Yeah, and then and let's not forget, the thing that really makes this film is John Williams' soundtrack. That score of those, it's like it's still done today. People just, when they're sneaking up on people, they'll make that is the sound effect they make, and that just solidified that working relationship with Steven and Williams. I love that soundtrack. I love that score, and it's a piece of history. It made history. I know Tim is saying it should win because of that. I'm not going to say it should win because of that. It certainly is a worthy contender because of these qualities. And I mean, it was pretty scary, pretty spooky, without being a big, gory, slasher kind of movie. It was more.
Yeah, it was bloody in the parts where it made sense, where it's like, oh, the kid got bit in half, so he bled in the water.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
It's what your mind is filling in on what you see that made it trippy.
Yeah, the old-fashioned horror where you have to actually like imagine the scary parts instead of just them showing it all to you.
Yeah,
right.
Which is fun too sometimes, but it's less effective, I think. KB, how about you?
I've lived with this movie all but 5 years of my life. It's gone from terrifying me to helping me be a better film student and cinephile, to understanding everything from a dolly zoom to a contrast cut to scoring a movie. It's all there. It's all there. And the other thing I just realized, I'll just keep this brief. This is set up to go against Jurassic Park in the next round. So damn.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Oh,
that's funny.
Damn.
The original Bruce versus the new Bruce.
I just realized that. I was like, oh man, T-Rex versus Bruce, man.
Wow.
Oh.
That's what happens when you click randomize 400 times. It's not fun if I do it on purpose.
No. But Eddie Murphy, Beverly Hills Cop 2, just to mention it. I mean, it was funny. The first one is still better, but no comparison. No comparison at all.
Yeah.
Apparently, it just didn't make enough money to be worthy of the list, I guess. I was surprised when I saw Beverly Hills Cop 2 and like Rambo 2 on there. I was like, okay, I guess. Like I thought about like omitting them just because they were sequels, but I'm like, well, at least it's something different. So I figured I'd include them just to represent some more franchises. been, why do you hate Eddie Murphy and all of his films?
well. To put it this way,
Come on.
he isn't a shark, so.
Oh.
No,
Good
but
reason.
Jaws, not only is it a cultural phenomenon, think about it in like Back to the Future. We saw like what it was, the Sharks 50, right in there with him coming down.
Jaws 19.
Eating Marty. Yeah, Jaws 19. Eating Marty.
Yeah, that was so good.
I mean, live.
Yeah.
Land Shark.
Yeah, Land Shark.
Land Shark.
Candy Graham. Yeah.
Candy Graham.
Candy Graham. But it grew. Draws grew something in me and my wife, in me at least. I love those cheesy shark movies because of Jaws. I love Jaws. So all those other cheesy shark movies that have come since, I love them because they're sharks. I just can't. Yeah.
You wouldn't have that scene in Deep Blue Sea without Jaws.
Right, exactly.
True.
The Sammy Jackson scene, yeah.
Yeah.
The most surprising thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's funny because you could see
that was back when you could kill off Sammy Jackson in a movie still.
Right.
You could see the influence of Hitchcock just in the way he took the problems with the mechanicals and then made it into something suspenseful, like he watched all those Hitchcock movies before. So
yeah. That's where he got his Vertigo shot from.
That's right.
Right.
The dolly tube.
That's what I just call it, the Vertigo shot, but that's what it is. It's really hard to do. I've done it a few times with like my friends and stuff. It's hard to do with the video camera, but I've gotten it to work. It's tough.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Especially doing it all with one person. Walking backwards while you zoom in at the same speed. It's tricky. All right, so we're on to round 2. So this will be a little quicker, I feels.
And maybe a little harder to pick, though.
It might be harder to pick from, but it might be less to talk about. I'll put it that way.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, this is hard. This is actually the hardest one so far.
This is.
Oh.
Do I go Judd Hirsch? Or do I go
Star-Lord?
Chris Pratt.
John the back. Very sad.
Hello, boys. I'm back.
Thank God they used that ending and not the other ending, right?
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Randy Quaid.
Like it's the same ending, but a lot dumber.
Yeah. I think it's like, isn't the bomb like duct taped onto the wing? That's so funny.
Yeah. It's like his little like prop duster.
God bless duct tape.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, that would happen.
All right.
It's a little too unrealistic for me.
Lucas's field is on the other side of town, you idiot.
Other side of town.
Nothing.
The kid from Donnie Darko. 3, 2, 1, and I promise this isn't a butthole. It is a spaceship.
Are you sure?
Does look like a
butthole. It looks like no.
What do we got? We got 3-2 ID4. Yeah. It looks like. Am I right?
Wow.
That was a hard one though, because and that's coming from the Marvel guy.
One that usually it's always been lost by one. That was 2 picks. All right, Ben.
Yeah, it's either been like clean sweeps or.
I want to be on the right
side. That did it.
What did it, Derek?
The villain. When I think of what is his name, Lee Pace in the first Guardians. Like when I think of the Guardians, I think of the Guardians. I don't think of Lee Pace really, other than the fact that I don't think of Lee Pace. But when I think of Independence Day, I really think of all of it, and like all of those quotes we were just saying. It's extremely quotable, and all the characters are great. So that speech, presidential speech. Plus, it's a yearly tradition for me to watch. So I got to go with ID4.
It's like it's so good. The fact that it beat Guardians, I'm not upset. That's how good ID4. Like I'm cool. Like I'm on the I'm on the camera.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm right there.
Yeah. And he's Ronan the Accuser, by the way, Derek. Ronan the Accuser. I actually like him in that movie. Like everyone thought he was a crappy villain. I'm like, I like that villain. Like compared to a lot of the
I guess I don't
new villains, I like him.
He just never really stood out to me. I don't know. When I think about the movie, he's just not really on my mind, other than when Chris Pratt dances in front of him. Like, that's hilarious. Yeah.
Oh, bro, it's a dance off.
What are
Bro.
you doing?
Distraction.
What?
Oh my God, David! I just Our friends and I designed a Harvey Firestein Experience thrill ride for Universal Studios one time, but we never ended up building it. So we all know our feelings about those. We'll just shoot to the next one. We'll talk more on the next half. But we gotta speed this thing along. This is actually getting extremely difficult for me.
These are hard. Wow. I don't like choosing.
Right?
Wrong live stream.
We're here to do the hard work that other people are too weak to do.
That's right.
Pick between movies we all like almost equally. Yeah. This takes too long to draw. I'm not going to draw it.
Oh yeah.
God damn.
There's no drawing. Or to draw.
I did an entire painting for Jurassic Park. If I can do that, you can draw.
That was impressive.
Yeah,
So quick,
yeah, you did that really fast.
In a little split time, yeah.
with one pen too. Come on, Derek.
This should
I got it. We're good. I have so many things in the room I could grab for probably both of these movies to represent them, but I did not. All right, 3, 2, 1. Flips them. Spider-Man. I think Roger Rabbit might win. Oh, Spider-Man won.
Oh, wow.
3-2. That was a hard one. This is the bigger blockbuster, and that's literally the only reason I picked it, other than being a Marvel fan, and also hashtag BBC.
You got to stop that. You really got to stop that.
No astrology.
Hey, I haven't done it in a while. Okay.
No astrology.
Wait,
I
which
don't
one
understand
won?
why everyone keeps saying that. Okay, I just love Bruce Campbell.
Which one won?
Spider-Man.
Okay,
We lost
Spider-Man.
it.
3-2.
We lost. Mm.
I don't know.
If it was most other things, I probably would have picked Roger Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
If it was Spider-Man 2, maybe. I'd probably still pick Roger Rabbit.
Spider-Man 2, I probably would have picked Roger Rabbit, honestly,
Oh.
because I'm one of the weird people who likes the first one the most because I love William Dafoe so much, and I love the origin story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Next,
Need to keep the board in my hand.
Lion King versus Deep Impact, but better.
Oh, no.
This is easy for me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go. Yeah. Ooh, excuse me.
Nice.
That was me not trying to burp. Y'all good?
Yep.
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Flips them. Could be Lion King, right? Lion King.
I went Armageddon just because I watch it more as an adult than I watch Lion King. Lion King was more formative, but Armageddon I still watch all the time.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
I mean, it's the more blockbustery blockbuster, so like for that reason, I considered it.
Yeah.
But Lion King is the objectively better movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And,
My definitions for why I do it, each one I feel like switches each round.
Right.
All right,
Yeah.
and here's KB's worst nightmare:
Oh crap.
Jurassic Park,
Oh.
or as the people from Philadelphia call it, Jaws.
Let me get another painting in real
With
quick.
the L.
Jaws or Jurassic Park.
Jowls. Jowls.
I bet if I had Doug for
I
a
like
second,
when Ken says it.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about. Jowls.
Jaws. A lot of people, it's like a southern thing. They just can't pronounce W's, so they say L's. Jaws.
See, now I'm going off some of the same reasons that y'all have been saying. So,
I'm picking the Steven Spielberg movie. How about you guys?
nope. Jowls. Look at Johnny. Jowls.
All right.
Damn, this
3,
matchup.
2.
I'm gonna
1.
lose.
Flip
I'm sorry, Tim.
Jaws.
Tim, I'm so sorry.
Ooh.
Oh wow!
Is that a Jaws bin? It's a
Yes.
the boat. So okay. But
It's
the
a boat
J's
with a shark
okay.
fin. Yeah, it's a boat.
You
with a
can't
shark
write
fin.
that big of a J and then such small other things with these 2 movies. That's all I'm going to say.
Hold on to your butts.
That's right. I see. I went up the same thing you did, Derek, which is like Jurassic Park. I've just watched it more. I've seen Jaws, but I've seen.
I
Jurassic
really watched
Park.
it.
And if I had the
watched
2 in my
more,
hand, I'd probably watch Jurassic Park.
Wait, I didn't see the count. What was the count?
3-2 Jaws, I believe.
So since Jurassic Park's not going to make it again, I guess I'll do my Jeff Goldblum now.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Derek. I knew you were voting against it.
He painted all those just for this stream. Jaws.
Just make sure if Jaws wins, that it's supposed to, not because it was the first.
Hey,
I like.
Derek,
Yeah, I think Jaws
you
is
can pull your
arguably
Jeff
the better
Goldblum
movie,
picture
too.
for Independence Day.
So we got Independence Day and Spider-Man.
Oh.
I'm not going to write hashtag BBC again, I promise. Regardless of my answer.
I did paint the White House blowing up, but
and don't draw any buttholes, Derek. I mean, that last one was pretty solid. Just in case.
Hold on to your butt.
A solid butthole. For like a 10-second drawing, it's a pretty good butthole. I was just like looking at the picture. I'm like, God, this looks like a butthole anyway. We all good?
Yeah, all good.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. This is a hard one. Ben, where are you at?
Ben,
are you
is he frozen or is he asleep?
I think he's frozen.
Did Ben fall asleep? There we go. What you got, Ben?
Oh, there he is. Oh, the lone
Spider-Man.
Sorry, Ben.
Comic book fan.
And this coming, yeah, so am I. I like Spider-Man long before Independence Day existed, but Independence Day is like a quintessential blockbuster movie. Like that's what I think of when I think of blockbuster movies, is movies like that.
I was not expecting that.
Derek, I was shocked you didn't pull your Jeff Goldblum picture for ID4.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah.
You idiot.
Very much Malcolm, but yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he's relevant all the time.
That's right.
There's so many Jeff Goldblum movies on here.
Even pulling for Jaws just because.
All right, this is going to be a sweep.
All right, so this one we got Jaws versus The Lion King. Jaws and The Lion King. I'm saying Jaws on accident.
It's just going to win this side of the bracket. We know it.
Yeah, I kind of felt that anyways.
We'll do whatever we can to take it down.
Yeah, we'll have to. No matter what the film is,
It ain't gonna matter.
Should have went Jurassic Park.
Why? You don't know what's going to be on the next side. It could be Wonder Woman versus
Really?
Jaws or Lion King.
Really?
Yeah, you should have had it on the other side. Although it would have still lost, I guess. All right, we're ready.
3, 2, 1. Flips. Jaws. Ooh, we got 2 Lion Kings.
Oh, 2 Lion Kings.
Respectable.
Mm-hmm. I don't know
Jaws it is.
why. That was just gut there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I know what's
I would
waiting
put
on
Lion
the
King.
other
It would have
side.
been all over.
I know what's waiting on the other side, and I will pick that above anything else. That's all I'm going to say.
Right. I, too, am a huge fan of Iron Man 3.
I'm the Mandarin.
Movie of all time. All right. I had to look quick and see what was there. All right.
Oh
Jaws and Independence Day. I don't know why I erased my board. For suspense, I suppose.
Can we just make this quick?
Get that Jeff Goldblum picture ready.
Yeah.
Looks like you're writing Independence there, Derek.
You'd think that, wouldn't you?
Armageddon.
Yeah, I forgot which one we were doing.
Is this the last
all good?
one? Is this the last one?
This is the last one, I believe, on this half. Yes.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Flips them.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. Independence Day.
3-2, Jaws. Jaws.
Oh.
Oh,
With the L.
Come on, you know Jaws.
Hey, Derek, if you'd have voted, it would have been all over for Jaws.
Mhm.
Yeah, that Jeff Goldblum thing right there, and you still decided to write with your pen. All right, so Jaws it is. The winner
Owls is winning.
of the first half. So I'm gonna quick go through the what you who's it
Nice.
this chat here because I feel like I ignore it too often, but you know it's kind of hard to with a stream like this. This will come down to Jaws versus Star Wars, probably. Jaws. I'm not the only one. Take down Jaws, down a pig. Yeah, what's up, Huck? Why do you hate Jaws so much?
So much
Sorry,
he
Tim.
left.
Don't hate me, Tim. I could have made the difference.
If it makes you feel any better, Tim and I were talking about this because he's not on it, and he said he would have picked Jaws over Jurassic Park.
I should have saved the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh yeah, I forgot. I was gonna say like, hey, does anyone want to take a potty break? Because I sort of do.
Please do.
I'll be back. You guys mull it over.
Oh, man.
Here's the first half of this round. So
I do not like this first round. Damn it.
You're the one that I want.
Oh, you know me, Katie. Come on now. You are the one I want.
Honey.
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 Sandy. Danny.
Oh, that was perfect.
I'm not going to need it.
Sandy.
Sandy.
Oh my
Danny.
God. Those
Stranded by the driving, brandy a fool. What would they say someday?
Someday at school.
Dun, 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 dun. Becky singing. Dude and Dudette. So Grease is coming out. You know, they're re-releasing there's a Fandango. I think it came out yesterday, and then there's another. It's like a 2-night. I wish it was like all week because I wanted to go out and see it. I just
78.
love
Yeah.
Grease. I saw Grease so much. That to me is one of those touchstones, along with Star Wars. That's like my favorite musical of all time.
So this will be a very difficult round for you.
I don't like this round. This is so far my least
you
favorite.
like it so much that you hate it. You're saying?
No, picking one of these.
He doesn't want that choice this early.
I can do it. Hurry up.
Hey, that Star Wars movie is the reason why Saturday Night Fever is not here.
That's all right. Yeah, that was.
I was saying earlier to James on his live stream, I went from the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack until the Grease soundtrack came out. It was like that's all I listened to.
I mean,
Never
Grease is
thought
the
about
word
buying this.
after all, so that's
Apparently. Never thought about buying the Star Wars soundtrack
You're missing out.
at age 7.
All right, we all good? Sure you are, because I took longer.
Speaking of Saturday Night Fever,
Tony,
That's awesome.
I just painted that really quick after you said it.
you are fast.
You're on Johnny on the spot tonight.
really quick. That's funny.
All right, so 3, 2, 1, flips them. It's Star Wars, right? It's Star Wars because come on, it's effing Star Wars. That's what I wrote.
Nothing but
We're
Star
kids.
Wars.
This is Star Wars. This is the one I want. Woo, woo, woo.
This is the one that I want. Star Wars.
Yeah, I love that Porkin shirt.
I do. That's so awesome.
He's entered the stream.
I need a
Yeah.
William Hootkins stream. William Hootkins shirt, but I want the one from Superman 4.
I wish it didn't say Star Wars under it, though. I wish it was just a picture of him.
Yeah, that'd be better. My
I'd
friend,
like to just say
that Derek I was referring to earlier, who dressed up as Porkins for like a Halloween party, had like the year I moved into my house I'm in, and it was amazing because we didn't know what he was doing, and he came out of his car like all in the whole outfit. And I was like, oh my god, how do you drive like that? It was very difficult.
Was he charred up like he lived through the explosion? Because that'd be funny.
No, but he was a Tunky guy, so it made sense.
Too soon. Too soon.
No, I said like he lived through it. Too soon. Too soon.
It's 46 years. It's too soon.
Yeah.
Hashtag too soon. All right.
77.
Huck, why was it such a hard choice to pick?
Because
over
I
Grease.
love Grease so much. But, you know, I mean, and KB, when I was on his show, I mean, Star Wars transformed. I mean, that was the movie that made me fall in love with movies. And it just, it sucked me into cinema. And then the year after I saw Superman, the movie, and that was like equally as amazing. So I was all in. And then Grease came out. And so all of those things within that short bracket just were such a pinnacle part of my film going experience and connection. So, I mean, I just love Grease, but it can't outweigh what Star Wars has done for me as a film goer. I mean, I came out here to be in film because of that. So, yeah.
Lucky.
Awesome.
Well, yeah. So I still have to pay California prices. So,
Right. I'm too lazy.
Right, my house is small. So,
mine too, and I'm in Minnesota. All right. KB, why do you love Star Wars so much, and what's awesome about Grease?
Kenner Toys, John Williams, Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader. Hello. Do I have to go on?
You can, but no.
You can't.
But I said enough. But Grease was great. Grease was like we used to get these program books at the movie theater, and if you went to see it one time and you got that was all you looked at for like the next 2 months.
I love those. I love those programs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And back then, movies lasted more than 6 weeks in the cinema, so you could go and see it again in a month or so. And you had the soundtrack and all that good stuff. I mean, that got me into the music of the 50s and 60s. So Grease is still the word.
It is. And who didn't fall in love with Olivia Newton-John?
Oh, God, yeah.
Such a crush.
Yeah. R.I.P. But I mean, Star Wars is life. I'm a freaking lifelong Jedi. I've raised Padawans. It's just it's a vibe. It's a vibe. So
yeah,
nothing beats Star Wars for me.
Yep.
Ben, how about you?
I'm more of a Trekkie, but since there's none of those on here, nope.
I can't. My fingers can't do that. Otherwise, I'd be there.
My hand's broken.
They physically can't do that. Seriously, like, look, that's as far as I can do my fingers.
Yep. Zachary Quinto can't do it either.
They have to tape the funny thing.
Yeah, that's what I have to do.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, we talk about memorable moments. We talked about it on the other bracket about villains like with Scar and all them. Darth Vader is probably by far one of the most iconic villains of all time.
100%.
Like when you hear that Imperial March, you know what's coming. You're doomed.
Wasn't in Star Wars. Was not in A New Hope.
No.
That's right.
But yeah,
it was always called Episode 4, though, right? I always forget because it's been so long since I've seen the original. Like, it was called Episode 4, but it wasn't called A New Hope.
No, it was just called Star Wars.
Just Star Wars.
It still had that role with the Episode 4, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It just didn't have the New Hope title until later.
Right.
Weird. Derek, why do you love Star Wars?
I guess I'll start with Grease just because I don't have much to say about it. I like Grease. My aunt liked it, and I would watch it when I would visit my grandparents. She was only 6 years older than me, so.
Frozen.
Sorry, always happens. So.
It only happens when you're talking.
I'm familiar with that movie, and I like the music and everything, but it was never one that was like, this is my movie sort of thing. But Star Wars, that came out in the 70s, wasn't even born, and the prequels came out when I was in high school, but all through grade school, we talked about Star Wars. Happened before I was born. The prequels didn't happen until afterwards, but we were still talking about it, and it was not from my childhood. It wasn't a movie that came out while I was alive.
Right.
Which I think is pretty cool. It had a lot of lasting power.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't even like. I grew up oddly enough with Grease and not Star Wars because my mom and my sister loved Grease. My sister was obsessed with it and her friends, and they would listen to it and watch it constantly. So that's why I had to listen to it and watch it constantly as a kid. So I didn't really like it. Like it was fine.
Yeah.
But as an adult, I do like it now. I watched it like a year ago. I found the triple pack steelbook thing at Half Price Books and then grabbed it and I watched it with my wife and my kid because we thought he'd like it because he likes singing and all that jazz. So I enjoy Grease. It's one of those movies on here that I said earlier is like, it's not necessarily what I would consider a blockbuster film, but just a movie that happened to come out in the summer and do very well. While Star Wars is, with the possible exception of Jaws, the definition of a blockbuster film.
Right.
And I didn't even like Star Wars until episode 2 came out. Like, as a kid, I barely watched it.
Whoa.
I watched bits and pieces of it on TV, and I was like, yeah,
Hey,
whatever.
like what?
I just didn't care. Like, I just, whatever. Like, I didn't have it on tape to watch or anything. So I was just like, it was just on TV or I never watched it. I saw Return of the Jedi, the 20th anniversary or whatever, the special edition in theaters, and I fell asleep through it with my friend who loves Star Wars.
Oh,
it was around the time episode 2 came out. My best friend really liked Star Wars, so I got into it. And then by the time episode 2 came out, I loved it. I finally watched all 3 of them back to back to back, and I fell in love with them, like genuinely for the first time. And I was like 15 years old. So yeah,
Star Wars. You to clarify something. Stop. You say episode 2. Are you saying the second movie, as in Empire Strikes Back?
No, I'm saying literally Attack
episode 2.
I really that's when when that movie was coming out. That's when I started to like Star Wars.
All right.
Well, wow.
You know,
okay.
that's what
and that's one everyone hates. And I'm like, I always like, but that's why I always like that one because that's the first one I watched since I had become a fan.
Dooku did it for you.
Well, but it is a good one, though. I kind of sided with Derek on that because it spawned off the Clone Wars.
The Clone Wars was better than episode 2. Sure.
If I watch it now, it's not great, but
no,
it's what got me into Star Wars.
Yeah,
so
it has nostalgia to it. Yeah.
It has one of the jankiest romances of all time.
Oh no, it's terrible. I love it. I don't care about that. I care about cool special effects and stuff. And that's why episode 2 was awesome. But episode 2 is not here because Spider-Man made more money than it, and it's also better. So there we go.
Yeah, thank God.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah. Some whiskey flowing here.
Right.
Oh Lord.
Second one.
Yeah, so this shouldn't be hard.
Oh God.
We have the Ghostbusters versus Pirates of the Caribbean 2, because it's hard to see in the poster. Dead Man's Chest.
Okay, this one deserves respect. I gotta get it.
The original Ghostbusters. Sitting on had my foot under the leg of my chair and sat on it. That does not feel good.
I gotta grab at least one copy.
Hashtag 0 stars for doing that to yourself.
I got too many copies not to grab one.
He's a huge Dead Man's Chest fan, by the way.
That's right. That's clearly Zabinski. That Gore Zabinski. I'm all over it.
Hey, he made like 3 cool movies. Mouse Hunt. Mouse Hunt kicks ass.
Birthday girl knows what's up.
Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters. And if Tim said something, I'm guessing he would say Ghostbusters. But we're not going to say Ghostbusters, are we, gentlemen? What are we going to say? 3, 2, 1. Ghostbusters?
Ghostbusters!
Oh, nice. I had this down here. I might as well use it, right? Yeah. Maybe if it was Pirates 1, somebody could consider voting the other way, but I highly doubt it.
I thought that's what it was. I grabbed Pirates 1 and I was like, oh, okay, this stands a chance.
You can tell because the poster's a little darker and has a squid leg on it with a tentacle.
Let me see. Where is it?
So yeah, Ghostbusters.
I'll flash that on the next one.
I'm actually going to start
this. Had
this
great
graphics.
graphics. This had CGI. This had good CGI. That's all I could say.
Yeah, one for visual effects. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bill Nye is the saving grace of that movie. Otherwise, yeah, the third one's unwatchable. It's so bad, and it gets worse from there. Yeah, Pirates 2 is fine. It's a part 2, back when they did, you had to film part 2 and 3 at the same time, and then they're usually not as good. The only trilogy that ever did that, I would say, that is good is Back to the Future, because they did it the right way, because they made it seem like the first movie.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings.
But they did all 3 of them at once. They didn't do 1 and then do 2 and 3.
I thought they did 2 and 3 together.
Well, they filmed all 3
They
of
did
them.
all 3?
All 3 at the same time.
Oh, okay.
They filmed all 3 of them for 18 months or something like that, yeah.
Oh, wow.
They knew what they were doing with Lord of the Rings. They did that. That's the right way to do it.
Yeah.
It's like, this
But as
will
far as
make
filming
money.
just the second and third one, Back to the Future is the only example where it's like, oh, that's awesome. And the only thing weird is the whole Jennifer casting change or something. Anywho, what were we talking about? Yeah, Ghostbusters. I grew up with Ghostbusters as a kid. I'm one of the weird people who always has kind of liked the second one more because I watched it more as a kid than the first one. The first one is better, like objectively. And as an adult, it's funnier.
Mm-hmm.
But as a kid, I enjoyed the second one more because it's more cartoony and I love the real Ghostbusters show. But it's the Ghostbusters. I mean, come on. They've been around, what, 40 years now? 40 years from now, if anyone's still talking about the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, I'd be honestly kind of shocked. So got to go with
Right.
Ghostbusters on that one. How about you, Derek?
Yeah, Ghostbusters was a huge part of my childhood, and like you, the second one I saw in theaters. I did not see the first one. I don't think I was either like just born or had not been born yet. What year did that come out? I can't remember now.
Ghostbusters 84.
84.
84. Okay, so I was like 1. But yeah, I just I don't know. I had some of the toys. My neighbor had a lot more of the toys when we were always playing Ghostbusters, and I always thought it was funny. Winston and Peter were always my favorite characters. And and the second Pirates of the Caribbean, I don't know. I like the first one, not the rest. But Ghostbusters is huge.
Same.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Huck, how about you?
Yeah, I feel like if this would have been the first Pirates up against Ghostbusters, it would have been a very difficult choice. I think that first Pirates is a fantastic film, just like Ghostbusters. But because it wasn't, it was a very easy choice. I love this cast. I love this story. It's very funny. It's 84. It was like that whole 80s sweet spot for me. That's when I was growing up. And this had all these fantastic SNL actors and Harold Ramis from Stripes and Ivan Reitman directing. It just was picture perfect for me. I remember seeing this many times in the theater. Slimer and then the Hurts and all that great stuff. It was just, it was like this thing that wouldn't stop. People just kept going back. And that's also when I started working at the theater, Derek. So you were a theater guy, so was I. And
Mm-hmm.
It was 84, 85, 86, I think, were the years I was in the theater. So I got to see that. And then the next year was Back to the Future. We got to see that over and over and over. So that was a good time for me. So that's pretty. In fact, look, I'm just saying, if Ghostbusters goes pretty far, I mean, I think it's got a shot.
You wouldn't be mad about it?
Not at all. No, personally. Yeah. If it goes
I think it's still like the highest grossing comedy of all time, I think. And that's not even including inflation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? More than
so. It is, or it's like damn close. Yeah.
Yeah.
It made over $200 million back in 84, which for a comedy, horror sci-fi comedy at that is ridiculous.
Right. That's incredibly narrow.
Yeah. Half of it's the cast, but come on.
It actually didn't make a whole lot worldwide. It made domestically 243. I had to look it up.
Yeah, I'm like, I thought it was like 280 for some reason, but maybe that was, I don't know. Yeah. It was over 200.
That song, we were all singing that.
I prefer the song from Ghostbusters 2 as well, but that's just me.
Bobby Brown.
Bobby Brown. On Our Own by Bobby Brown.
Too
hot to handle, too cool to hold. We're called the Ghostbusters Mind Control.
Make it on our own. Yeah.
See, that's what I love about the generation gap is Ghostbusters 2 has that appeal on you younger people. And I love that. I love that it has that, right? Because it doesn't for us, I think. Although KB, if I'm speaking for him, but Ghostbusters 1 was our sweet spot.
Yeah, I always liked 1 more, but
And look, if Ray Parker Jr. is going to rip off Huey Lewis and get sued for it, it better be a damn good song.
It better be an Oscar-nominated song.
Mhm.
That's for sure.
What he said.
All right, KB. Why is Ghostbusters 2 way better than Ghostbusters 1? Let's hear it.
The jokes, Bill Murray, Sigourney Weaver. I don't know.
Rick Moranis, come on.
On his best day, yes. Stuck on Sigourney Weaver, but no, it's just a hilarious movie, and it's one thing for jokes to hold up and everything. I can't remember anything about Pirates 2, even though I own it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
It was a sequel. I remember that.
Yeah. The only thing good about it, like I said, the only thing good about it is Bill Nye as.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. See,
Right.
Him as Squid Face guy, whose name I can't think of.
is
Davy Jones.
Davy Jones.
Davy Jones. Thank
Davy
you.
Jones.
Yeah.
He's like the
Yeah.
only good thing in that movie. And
Great
The
special
visual
effects.
like I said
oh,
before. Yeah.
fantastic effects.
Yeah.
The visual
That's
effects
better.
were excellent.
Far better than what we even get today.
Yeah. But
Oh,
at that
yeah.
time, it's like, yeah, that's weird. God, why did that
Great.
happen?
So good.
Mhm.
Stupid visual
I remember
effects.
it felt unfinished.
The second one?
The movie
Yeah.
itself or the effects?
The movie itself.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's because there was
Remember
a third
how-
one, and that was the other half of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just like stopped it, and then it's
Yeah.
like, wait till the third one. We'll finish the story.
That's the problem with making only part 2 and 3 separately, like The Matrix and etc.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's a curse. It's a curse that tells you. Ben, why is Ghostbusters amazing?
How appropriate is it that we have Ghostbusters going up against ghosts?
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, we've had Beverly Hills Cop with Eddie Murphy. We have a movie here that almost had Eddie Murphy in it. With Ghostbusters. Yeah.
Ghostbusters, yep.
One of those ones he missed out on with a bunch of others.
So he could do
There,
Golden
too.
Child.
I'm
Yeah.
glad he wasn't in it though, because he would have stole scenes, and we wouldn't have had a straight man.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, if he
And
would
we
have been
would've had
Winston.
a little too over the top.
We needed Ernie Hudson.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
my favorite as a kid.
Yeah.
As in
We
Ghostbusters
have
2.
the tools. We have the talent.
Just so
That's a big
Yeah.
point.
crazy.
I mean, this is just
Yeah.
so iconic. I can't say much else other than what has already been said. So
Fair enough.
That's a big Twinkie.
This one's gonna hurt me inside.
Ooh.
Oh, this is easy.
Ooh.
This is easy.
I hate how easy it is. That's the problem.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. You know what?
Still holds up.
Okay. Avengers, the original one, had Infinity War technically come out in the summer season, which I believe is just May through August for movies. Seasons are different in movies than they are in real world. It would have probably been up here, and I probably would have used it instead of it, because it's usually the better liked film of the two. But Avengers came out in May, and Infinity War came out in April, so that's what happened. So we have Avengers, the first superhero team crossover film extravaganza that really launched the MCU, if you really want to, think about it, versus some movie about an alien that some guy directed that we've talked about earlier. Extraterrestrial. It's no pod people, that's for sure. All right, so 3, 2, 1. Where am I? There it is.
yeah, I'm the odd man out. I'm the odd man out.
Avengers on there.
Yeah,
If it was up against most things, I'd pick Avengers because, obvious reasons, I love Marvel, and Avengers made me feel like an 8-year-old boy again for the first time in theaters, even though I was 20-something when it came out.
If it was a superhero race, that would be much higher. But
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When Hulk is my favorite, and he always has been. So seeing when he transformed into the Hulk the first time in Avengers, I was so giddy. It was absurd.
Yeah.
I had 2 Hulk movies before, but in this movie, it it was right. It felt right.
It did.
And it was better
That's
than
my suggestion for your next tournament.
the superhero movies one.
Superhero movies.
Oh, I'm already doing it, so you're good.
There we go.
I already made the thumbnail. You're ready to go. I just don't know who's all going to be on it yet, but I'm going to do it in June sometime. So hey, shameless plug. I've been doing Instagram polls for each franchise for people to vote. So I had an Avengers poll for everyone to vote with all 4 Avengers movies because I didn't want to have more than one movie from each franchise because I'm going to do 32 movies again. And spoiler alert, Infinity War is the winner by a large margin. I think 0 people voted for this Avengers movie. Even Age of Ultron had votes, and this one didn't, which surprised me. And I like Age of Ultron, but that still surprised me that this had 0 votes.
Age of Ultron's really good.
This is my second.
It got better the more I watched it. Yeah. But yeah, then you got E.T. So I've said enough. I'll keep going. Let's start with Huck this time. No, you got to start with Ben because he said Avengers. I'm sorry, he was the weird one. He was the one who answered wrong, apparently. You got to start with Ben. That's the
what do you have to say about that, Ben?
I mean, I've watched E.T. and I mean, as touching and everything as it is, I just don't have that nostalgia for it. Like, I grew up with comic books. I grew up in that world. So I have more of a nostalgia for comic books and Avengers than I do for E.T. And not that I don't think E.T. is a bad movie. I know it's a very good movie. I just don't have the nostalgia like a lot of people have for it.
Fair enough. It's one of the rare movies I actually had on VHS as a kid, so I watched it constantly, and that's why it holds such high value to me personally. Because I didn't have a lot of movies. All right, now we'll go to Huck.
I think Avengers is absolutely a great choice. Like if I'd have jumped on that with you, it'd still be 2-3 on the Blues. Yeah. But it rewrote like how you put teams together and how you do it in a perfect way, and keep the MCU going. Like you put a lot of faith in that thing working, and then it did, and now we have the MC universe because of it. So we owe a lot to that film. But, E.T. is the kind of film, it stands alone. It doesn't have any franchise, doesn't have any sequels, and it still holds up. I watched it last year with, again, with my kid. I'm like, come on, love E.T. And for me, I thought I was just going to be kind of sitting on the sideline, just peripherally absorbing E.T. because it's not that good anymore that I would remember. And then, I didn't even pay attention to it. I just got so sucked into the movie because it's still so good. And I was kind of shocked how, heartfelt and emotional. And the kids are fantastic. And Spielberg shoots it from low angles, so it's all POV of the kids. And I'm like, it's just fantastic. I don't know. It's going to be a tight contest when we get down to the end. But the ET is about as good as it gets.
Yeah. Well, which one was it? The 80s one you were on with me, right?
Yeah.
Best Picture nominee one was E.T. was the winner of that one, right?
Oh, well, all that other stuff was so bad. Oh my god!
Yeah. Hey, Indiana Jones was in there, wasn't that the two at the end?
I know, and I wanted that. Yeah, to win.
The other Spielberg movie.
Just a lot of them were bad. That was hard.
Yeah,
that was a hard.
Yeah. I felt bad during it. I was like, oh god, why did I make you do this?
Oh my god! I know. How dare you?
All right, KB, why is E.T. glorious?
Unlike Ben, this is pure nostalgia for me. This is something I grew up on, saw it in the theaters, all that good stuff. And like you said, Huck, it's just the way that Spielberg got the kids to perform, especially young Drew Barrymore as Gertie. I mean, Gertie is everything to me in this movie, and the pure emotion. It's like you almost watch a movie through the eyes of children. And as you get older, you pick up on different things, like, once again, a little touch of divorce going on in this movie. Spielberg was big on that. And he made it his logo for his entertainment company.
Yeah.
So there's something to that. Yeah, it's Amblin Entertainment. Although I did see a picture today of Godzilla eating Elliot as the bike fell to the ground. So I thought that was kind of awesome too. But no, E.T. is great. E.T. is great.
All right, Derek.
Yeah, everything everybody's already said, but also the creature effects, the puppetry, I guess what would that be, like animatronics, and everything that they did there was fantastic. And I kind of love that Spielberg regrets going back in and trying to correct certain things. He realizes that wasn't the best choice, because a lot of the charm today, like I don't necessarily think I was thinking about this when I was a kid. E.T. was just E.T., but a lot of that charm that exists now when watching it as an adult is all the practical effects used. It's that the artistry there is fantastic, and also, like Huck was saying, the filmmaking, the perspective, childhood perspective.
Cool.
Was great with those low points
of
view. All that was great.
Yeah. He made sure that you couldn't see any adult's face except for Mom. That was like the thing, right?
Yeah.
And she was
so good.
Wallace was so good.
Yeah. And she's in a lot of really bad horror movies. Not that I don't like those bad horror movies, but she's in a lot of them. So
she liked one of my Instagram posts one time.
Yeah.
Oh, get out.
Yeah. I can't remember why. Critters, maybe.
Were you talking about Cujo?
I think maybe Critters.
Oh, nice. Critters.
Yeah, I think I did something for Critters, and she liked it.
I love Critters. Yeah. E.T. was the highest grossing movie of all time at that point.
Yeah.
And it went from Jaws to Star Wars to E.T. to Jurassic Park. I remember, I think it was on SNL, Jeff Goldblum hosted when Jurassic Park came out, and he was talking about Jurassic Park becoming the outgrossing E.T. He's like, so I bet the guy who made E.T. is really upset right now. Here's a weird pairing. Superhero sequels. The best Christmas movie of all time, Iron Man 3 versus Superman 2. That poster is amazing.
It is.
I almost wish they did that for the Steelbook, but I'm not going to complain. They should have put that on the back of the Steelbook instead of, the crappy Richard Donner cut artwork.
Yeah.
Have you watched any of those yet, Huck? Because I know you got those for sure.
No, I haven't had time to put them in yet.
Me neither. But at least I'll have to watch Superman 4 for my bad movie Bible shows. That's funny. I don't know what I was doing. It's probably in the wrong direction. We're pulling audible here.
This is pretty easy. Okay.
Yeah. What do you mean? We have the greatest superhero or Christmas movie of all time versus Richard Lester's / Richard Donner's Superman 2.
It is a 50-50 movie.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. All right, we all good then?
Okay.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Show all your Superman 2s.
Everybody's got the logo. Nice. I love how even this is a clean sweep.
Kneel before Zod.
I started writing
God is so
Superman, like the logo, like sideways, the short way. And I was like, God damn it, it's not going to fit. So I'm like, oh, well, let's do the simple. Why am I even thinking of that? Yeah, Iron Man 3 is not great. It's honestly my least favorite Iron Man movie. Like,
I am a teacher. That's about.
I think I liked it more than Iron Man 2 when I first saw it, and then now after rewatching them each a few times, I'm like, this movie's dumb. It's like one of my least favorite of the MCU movies. But Superman 2 is the one I grew up on. I actually had that on tape, so I watched that all the time more than Superman 1, even though I'd argue Superman 1's better. But Superman 2 is just as good, pretty much.
I grew up on 3.
Yeah, see, there we go.
3 was my favorite because of the part where he fought himself, and I used to rent 4 from the library all the time. But I never, for some reason, 1 was the one I just never watched. So when I bought the DVD set and watched them in order, Like that was almost the first time I ever saw Superman 1, because I watched 2, 3, and 4 so often. It's kind of funny. But we'll start with Derek then, since there was no defectors.
Well, oh yeah, Iron Man 3. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I checked out maybe a little bit in the MCU. That's kind of when I was like, maybe I'm not gonna love every superhero movie, or something. I don't know. I wasn't as engaged. Really loved the first Iron Man. The second one, honestly, I can't even think about what that one's about right now. And then the third one, I just remember that it's the Christmas one, but doesn't do much for me. It's really the first one is where it's at for me.
Yeah.
And then Superman 2, oddly, that's probably the one, maybe not that I've seen the least, maybe second least. 4 is probably the one I've seen the least. But, I love Superman. But like how you started to like, Derek, you liked Star Wars when Episode 2 came out. I fell in love with Superman. I was a Batman guy until Superman Returns came out. And when I watched that, I fell in love with Superman, and he became my favorite DC hero. And that hasn't changed because of what Brandon Routh did with that character.
I'm so glad you love Superman Returns.
Superman Returns is good. Yeah, it's better than people give it credit for.
Should have been the fifth movie in that set. Should have been the fifth movie in that set.
It should have been included. Yeah.
To think about having that in 4K with Brandon Routh in 4K was such a missed opportunity. I don't need to see the Donner cut or 4.
I mean, it's on the Batman Superman Blu-ray tin set.
Of course,
set you get in the tin. It's the Richard Donner cut, and it's Superman Returns right in there.
Nice. Yeah, I kept my Blu-ray set of the Superman movies because it has Superman Returns, and also the director's cut of Superman 1, which when I did my video for it or whatever, I was like, oh, I wonder if that's on the 4K set, but I'm pretty sure it's not. So the Blu-ray set has both versions of the original Superman movie and then Superman Returns. So it's worth keeping. And there's like a 100-minute documentary or something.
Oh, they're so good too.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm keeping that, I guess. So good. Yeah, Superman Returns is underrated. It's not like amazing, but Brandon Routh did a great job and kind of got the shaft.
Look at it. I think people need to look at it more as a character study than a superhero movie or an action film. Character study of a superhero, and then I think maybe the expectations of what a superhero movie is supposed to be, those won't be, bogging down in your mind. Like, where's this stuff that I expect to see in, a superhero movie? But that's why I had to go Superman 2. Just my opinion of him is just so high. I just love that character so much, even though that was, of those films, one of the ones I watched the least.
You should watch it more because it's great.
Yeah, I like that one, but
you love Superman and tell us.
Oh yeah, well, as like I said earlier, Superman the movie was such a main staple for me growing up, and when 2 came out, 2 did the one thing Superman 1 didn't do, and that is he got to fight 3 villains of Kryptonian stature. And that was great. And it started out, it's sort of like just a beautiful thing about this great origin story in 1 with the ultimate villain of Lex. And then 2 starts off with him doing a super feat, which is exactly what you want. Like he goes down that alleyway, pops his shirt open, and just takes off in the most beautiful. Chris Reeve could use wire work like nobody else.
Yeah, he could.
And Chris also set the staple of what a good actor should be when casting a superhero. Like he's the benchmark that everyone has to meet or exceed. And and there, if you get it right, you're doing it. Even Michael Keaton, he was a great Batman. You got to top that. And so Superman 2 was just so much fun for me because I loved the first one and the second one, although very campy and goofy because of Lester's humor. When I was younger, that didn't bother me as much. It was still Superman, and Chris looked great, by the way. I mean, when he, was both Clark and Superman, he played both roles to perfection. When he falls and gets his hand in the fire and he tries to like hide his hand, that is the most brilliant scene. You watch Chris in that scene, and he is freaking fantastic in that scene. That's the one thing I feel like all the other actors, as good as Cavill was as Superman, as good as Routh was as Superman, none of them have been as good as Clark. No one has done Clark half as good as Chris. So
Dean Cain.
Yeah, Dean Cain was great.
Yes,
because
Love
he got 4 seasons to get that
Yeah.
right.
But he was also mostly Clark, wasn't he?
He was mostly Clark.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that always bothered me about the Henry Cavill movies. And I'm like, yeah, he's a good Superman, but he's not Clark ever.
He doesn't change.
He's never Clark.
No.
Even when he's Clark, he's Superman with glasses, and there is a difference. No matter how many people want to complain.
Yes.
Brandon Routh just didn't have enough Clark in his movie. That was the biggest problem with that movie, I think. But yeah.
But he did well. You know,
he did it great. He just didn't have enough of the difference, I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, he played a good Christopher Reeve. That's the best thing you can say.
Yes.
KB, how about you?
Iron Man 3 sucked. That's all there is. I'm
my favorite Christmas movie.
I grew up on Superman 2, so I remember seeing that more than Superman the movie, even.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
And then by the time you got to 3 and Quest for Peace, it was like, okay, the romance is over. But I mean, 2 is up there for me. That's the quotable one. That's the one with the villains. That's the one with the Fortress of Solitude. It's everything in there, man.
It's so good.
So it is. I didn't get the 4K yet, but I really want to get it just for the first 2 movies more than anything. I could do without Richard Pryor and whatever that villain was in 4.
And Nuclear Man.
Nuclear Man. Yeah.
John Cryer.
I heard about John Cryer as Lex Luthor's nephew. Yeah.
John Cryer is Ducky.
That's and he was all just like, "Hey, what's up, Luthor?"
and ended up becoming Lex Luthor in Supergirl.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah,
that's all right.
Yeah.
He was a good Lex. He was a terrible Ducky or whatever. I just keep calling him Ducky.
You call him Ducky.
Hey, because he got the pink hair and
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Superman 2.
Love it. Ben, what's your 2 cents quick before we go on to the next one?
Iron Man 3 ruined one of the greatest villains in comic book history.
Yes,
of the Mandarin. Yeah. It ruined it completely to the point where Shang-Chi's trying to save it. It's not helping.
And it didn't work. It didn't work.
It helped, but it didn't. It doesn't. Yeah, too little, too late. Kind of a situation. I would say.
And for those of you that haven't seen it, check out Crisis on Infinite Earths, the CW crossover with Brandon Roth in it. He not only plays the Atom, what he played in that series, but he also plays Superman again.
It's so good.
And it's the Kingdom Come version. It's the Kingdom Come version of Superman where everyone in his life is gone, so he's darker. Yeah. But if you notice on his wall, you'll see the Cape Osworth picture. You'll see the Kevin Spacey picture. Yeah, cool. You have to look closely on there. You will.
I never watched those, but I love that he came back as Superman. Yeah, the Kingdom Come with the blue and the black and red S, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So good. Guy, you're so good. So good to see him one more time suited up.
So that means it's tied into Superman Returns, like it's that same Superman. That universe.
Yeah, Superman technically it's supposed to be. Yeah, it's technically supposed to be that same Superman.
Ooh, okay, I got to watch just that episode then.
Yeah, I wish they would release that as just its own little Blu-ray.
Because of all the other things that they had in there, like Burt Ward as Dick Grayson, Robert Wall from Earth 89, representing the Batman universe, and they even had the music playing. They even had the musics for all these playing in there too.
They put out all the money for that.
Yeah,
so
I mean, it's all owned by Warner Brothers, so
even Kevin Conroy was in it.
Literally,
yeah.
I just love Del coming. Never hated Superman 3 inspired Office Space forever. It's like Superman 3. Speaking of Superman, here's Batman. And
what is that other one?
The Amityville Horror.
Oh, right.
Which is the one of these movies I hadn't seen until I just watched it.
Tales of the Barfing Nun.
Yeah. I had just seen that part when I saw your comment, and it was hilarious.
I reviewed that movie, and I put that Barfing Nun in my video like 20 times. Random moments.
That's great. Yeah, that part was funny. We're like, that's weird. I'm gonna draw a more film accurate version of this. Not that I'm giving away what I'm picking.
Logo.
So Batman and Amityville Horror. starring Lois Lane as whatever her name was in that movie, who is the wife of James Brolin. All right, we all ready?
Mary Thottos.
Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1, flips them. You're missing his little bat feet that he has for no reason in this movie.
Only on the chest.
Only on the first movie, and only on his chest.
Yes.
It's so weird and stupid. But yeah. Ben, you like superheroes, I heard. Why do you love Batman over Amityville Horror?
Yeah, sure.
He's frozen.
No, I'm not. Just having,
You got your little Batman logo shirt? Nice.
just having everyone admire the shirt.
I love all the bats, man.
But yeah. So why do I love it? Batman was the first hero I grew into. I grew up watching. From my parents played the '66 Batman on TV. It was on FX all the time.
Hell yeah.
So I grew up watching Batman. So I got like right around when '89 came out, I was like 5 years old. My parents were like, "Yeah, you're not going to see Batman." Till we see it, they're like, "It's too dark." And then '90s rolled around. I started getting into comic books, started reading the darker Batmans, and they're like, "Yeah, just go see it." When I was like 6 or 7, they're like, "Yeah, you can finally go see it." So I watched it literally before the day I went to go see Batman Returns.
Oh, wow.
The first time I watched it. So yeah,
good timing at least.
Yeah, it was.
That's crazy. And what are your thoughts on Amityville Horror?
There's
since you didn't mention it at all, and I thought I'd put you on the spot to be weird.
Never seen it, so
that's okay. I only saw it like 2 days ago, so don't feel bad. All right, KB, let's go in reverse order here. How about you?
Amityville Horror was great. I actually been to that location, the real one, because I went to school out there. But at the same time, 1989 came around and everybody was Batman crazy.
Oh yeah.
And just the way you saw that poster was the way the poster was everywhere, just the logo. And I remember a whole bunch of people getting the tattoos of it. Even if they weren't Batman fans before, they were Batman fans after that. And as campy and cheesy and over the top as Jack Nicholson was as the Joker, that was the movie. That was everything that summer. The Prince soundtrack was everything that summer. It was everything. And the years I followed it, nothing compared.
And it was the only Batman movie not to have the hero have first billing at all.
Yeah, Jack.
Well, no,
that's about Jack.
That's not true.
Batman and Robin didn't either.
Superman the movie, he was third billing behind Gene Hackman and Marlon Brando.
That's right.
And he was still in
Batman
Superman
Forever.
2.
Arnold Schwarzenegger had top billing over George Clooney, I think.
Yeah, Chris didn't get first billing until Superman 3.
Wow.
That's ridiculous. Not even Superman 2?
Well, because Gene Hackman was still in it. So
fair enough. Yeah.
He got still got top billing.
That's shitty.
It's wrong, I tell you.
Yeah. Like the first one
he had to become an executive producer in order for it to happen.
I know.
Yeah. I remember the Batman and Robin posters with like Schwarzenegger, Clooney. I'm like,
yeah.
Alrighty. Huck, why do you love Amityville Horror so much?
Amityville's so good. It was a hard choice. No. I mean, I've seen Amityville, sort of like I've seen Omen, those type of horror movies.
Yeah.
And they were good. And then I've never really given them another thought. Like, I don't need to rewatch those. But like you said, KB, wow. I mean, this Batman was everywhere, and I was all in. I was, in fact, it's the first time I ever came out to California was in '89 to sort of see if this is where I wanted to live. So I came out here to explore it for 1 week, and that was the week Batman came out. And so I saw 1989's Batman at the Chinese Theater. So it could not have been a better experience.
Oh, wow.
And I was
awesome.
blown away. I was this atmosphere in this theater. I'm like, where is this? What is this California thing? So, and I got the t-shirt and I got the mug and I was Batman in. And when I was working in Louisiana, we had downloaded remember Movie Time? It was like E Entertainment Network, but it was called Movie Time before it was the E channel. and all they showed,
Yeah.
much like how MTV only showed music videos, Movie Time showed trailers. And one of the trailers they were showing was that Batman, in fact, it was so raw that the audio in it was still not sweetened. Like you could just hear like sort of the echoiness of when Joker comes in and takes his hat off and goes, Joker. It was just really like raw, but they wanted to get that trailer out to let fans know something great is coming. Please stop crapping on this film and that Michael Keaton's Batman. And that was it. Just like we were talking about with the Independence Day trailer. This trailer shut people up. It got their eyes popping out of their head. And now you had to have a movie live up to that trailer. And it did. So, and so I will still remember all of that mojo. I hadn't felt like that since like Superman 2. And it was fantastic.
And that Danny Elfman score.
Right on. Oh, so good.
Danny
Elfman. That was the one that had the 2 soundtracks. I was at the Prince and then had a separate soundtrack just for Danny Elfman. I bought them both.
Had them both.
And the score and the soundtrack, yeah. Additional music by Prince. Yeah. Yeah, the trailer was so popular they used to sell it like at Comic-Cons on VHS for like $20.
I know, right?
Oh my god!
The movie came out because it was like such a big deal.
And I bought a ticket to whatever. I couldn't even tell you the movie I went to go see, but I asked, "Is Batman showing in front of this movie?" And they said yes. I said, "All right, I'll buy a ticket to that movie just so I could see the Batman trailer on that screen." That's how impressed I was.
Some people did episode 1, but that didn't pan out.
I just love that Batman. I just love that Batman poster, that Batman '89 poster.
Oh,
you don't see that nowadays with the superhero movies.
Yeah.
Nope.
That and Superman 1.
Simplicity.
Just the symbol. Yeah.
The symbol's so nice.
Derek, how about you before we accidentally skip you because we're talking about Batman so much?
Yeah, well, Amityville, like Huck said, you watch it and then you don't really think about it that much beyond. You don't need to watch it again unless it's for the barfing nun. But Batmania, I mean, that was the summer. The summer before I went into kindergarten, and Batmania was huge. Like I remember all of that, and I feel like I hadn't seen anything like that. I know they tried to recreate it with Dick Tracy with all of the merch, but people weren't buying into it. Episode 1 probably I would close to equal it, and then the movie.
People actually like went to movies just to see the episode 1 trailer.
Yeah,
just like,
but the movie didn't. The movie didn't necessarily deliver the way Batman did. I mean, if you go to Taco Bell and get cinnamon twists, that's because of Batman. Before then, it was cinnamon chips. The Batman promotion brought cinnamon twists.
Is that right?
Yeah, you have Batman to thank every time you order cinnamon twists at Taco Bell.
All right, go there now.
That's really awesome. Other awesome sales and such. Good.
I was Joker for that Halloween. I remember wearing that to school. Yeah, it was real. It was like a great time to be a 5-year-old. And I loved that movie. Jack Nicholson was amazing. And because of the age I was, that was Batman and Joker's origin story, until I learned later that Joker didn't kill Batman's parent or Bruce Wayne's parents. Right. So that's what I grew up thinking. I thought that's how it was.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that because my parents, like to this day, when I explain like Batman Begins to them, they're like, "Yeah, this happens and this happens." They're like, "I thought Joker killed his parents." I'm like, "No, that was just the movie." Come on, you were like 30 years old when that came out. No better.
Well, for the movie.
Yeah. The Batmania is self-explanatory, I guess. So I don't need to add much to that. Amityville Horror, I thought was fine since I just watched it the first time. I'll give my 2 cents on it. It was okay, and I thought the ending was extremely anticlimactic. Other than that, it was fine. Had that been up against the Omen, for example, since it's like the 2 most comparable movies in here, I would have picked the Omen over it. So
I still would have picked the Omen over that. Yeah.
Someone feel free to look into the cinnamon twist because that's just my memory.
How did I know this was coming?
No, I just want to go get them.
I just looked at the 2 movies and I said, this asshole is going to make me pick between Maverick and.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Damn.
Top Gun Maverick. which is kind of fitting. It's Top Gun 2 versus the second entry of the Christopher Nolan Batman franchise.
Oh my god,
The Dark Knight.
I'm hating.
And they made comparable monies. One was
I don't think this
ago,
is random. I don't think this is random.
No, it was random. Everything was random except for me making sure two specific movies were on opposite sides.
Yeah. The Spielberg versus Spielberg, I don't think that's random. I don't think this is random.
What was random? Just ask Bob. He loved the comedy stream. It was so random.
Oh yeah, I saw him catching feelings.
Well, I love him, but he's got a shitty taste in comedy, so that's what I'm
Yeah, I was there.
He didn't like The Jerk. Go to hell. That's all I can say.
And Jim Carrey.
Well,
Or Jim Carrey. He likes boners and such. Boner comedies.
I feel like I know where this is going, but still.
I mean, yeah, both of these are great, but only one of them I've watched 30 times. So,
that's because one of them's been out for 15 years. So
yeah, but I probably watched it 30 times in the first 2 years it came out, to be honest.
Yeah.
I probably haven't even watched it in like 7 or 8 years. I mean, not to give a hint.
Yeah. What? I don't know what you're picking.
Which one is it?
All right, here we go.
3, 2, 1.
I'll be the odd man out here.
Bang, yeah. Multiple, yeah, all the Dark Knights. Yeah, Top Gun Maverick's amazing. Hawk, you go first. Why is Top Gun better than Dark Knight?
Well, I don't know if it's better because I mean, literally, this is like that type of pick where it's not a slam dunk. Like, yeah, like there you go, KB. Like just picking it doesn't even. It like both movies are so good. Like Dark Knight is literally probably one of the best, if not the best, comic book movie ever. Heath Ledger plays one of the greatest villains, won Academy, also proving that comic book movies can win Academy Awards.
So,
there's that. And there's just so much to like. And I mean, like, I don't know. I just sort of picked Top Gun Maverick because it's fresh in my mind. Probably because I expected that to be good because Batman Begins was so good. So I was going in already knowing Dark Knight had a lot to, come off of and be great.
Yeah.
Whereas Top Gun Maverick was just like it's a sequel no one asked for, 36 years after the first one. And it just, I was in tears. The one thing I will say that I got from Maverick that I didn't get from Batman was tears. I was like in tears in many scenes, just from a little bit from nostalgia, some from just the nice raw emotion that the director was putting in that film, and the action adventure. I feel like it was just picture perfect. It's Tom at his best, like right up there with some of his best Mission Impossible stuff. So I don't know. It just rang true. It was my favorite film of last year. And because it's so new and fresh in my head and so well loved in my head, I just had to pick it for now. Maybe, as time went by and I was able to put 10 years distance between that, I probably would have fell back on Dark Knight. But like for now, this is just that movie that surprised me and I felt was worthy. And that said, there you go. I'll let you guys talk more about Dark Knight, but that was a great film too. I loved it. It's my favorite of all the Nolan Batman films, hands down. So I'll let you guys take it away from there.
Let's go to Ben because I know you like Batman.
Oh, and the song from Lady Gaga, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good song. Yes,
that was great.
They like we said with Batman '89 with Jack Nicholson as the Joker, Heath makes this role his own. Like literally, Jack Nicholson was playing Jack Nicholson dressed up as a clown.
Yeah.
In that first
that's all he was. Yes, exactly.
Heath Ledger dove into this role. He read the comic books. He dove into Joker so much that they said it consumed him. And like Huck said, too much. And like Huck said, it showed that superhero movies or comic book movies could win an Academy Award.
Mm-hmm.
And then went on to spawn Joaquin Phoenix's role as the Joker to win the award.
The award twice.
Yeah. So I mean, you have Jai White in here, Michael Jai White in here, who played Spawn in the '90s. So I mean, him in that scene where he gets where he's Gamble of the bosses right there, of the crime family right there. I mean, this kind of had it. You still had the old school Batman where they were going with Batman Begins with the crime bosses and the crime families. And then it kind of turned it on its head where you get more of the rogues gallery in there with the Joker just throwing anarchy and chaos, and how Joker really is the antithesis of Batman. Batman's law and order, where Joker is just chaos in general. And you see that in this movie. You don't really see it in Batman 89, how chaotic Joker can be. In this one, you see utter chaos with the Joker. And it's just so fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. KB, how about you?
This was hard, man, because Maverick, I know it's been said and it sounds corny, but Maverick really brought people back to the theater last year. I know so many people who just said after the pandemic, they have no reason and they could stay home and stream and on demand to their heart's content. But for some reason, they went to see Maverick. I know I saw it on the Thursday, and then I was back in the theater by Saturday matinee to see it. And just everything from the stunts to the practical stuff to Cruise as an actor, Cruise as a producer, it was just all around a great story and a great story. But every Oscar Sunday, you could find me watching this movie for what I think is still one of the greatest Oscar-winning performances of all time in Heath Ledger. It's hardly a Batman movie to me as much as it's a Joker movie.
It is.
You know,
It is.
I've seen Blu-ray covers where it's just the Joker on it, and I'm like, I want that because it really is a Joker movie. You know, the antagonist of the movie really is Batman, not the other way around.
Look at the 4K covers. It's
all the villains.
Raw, it's the villains,
Yeah, it's all the villains.
Yeah, the Batman Begins one, Batman, and then it's Joker, Bane,
yeah. But Huck, you say, you know, it brings you to tears with Maverick. It brings me to tears watching The Dark Knight because we'll never have another performance like that, or we'll have another performance from Ledger. So
yeah, you're so true.
That does it for me every time, man.
Yeah. Yeah. This is good. Ooh, what how far it'll go.
Yeah, I'm with you, Del. It consumed him. The notes that he kept was borderline serial killer. And, you know, if you ever seen it, the chicken scratch and the things that literally consumed him, that's the only word you could use. But out of it, we got pure art out of it. But, you know, it came at a cost, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah. He ended up being in one other movie after that, but it didn't even come out till after he passed away, sadly.
Yeah.
On that note, Derek, what do you think?
All right, let's pick it up.
Upbeat.
Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, I mean, I had a great time with Top Gun Maverick at the theater. I saw that in IMAX. It was fantastic, but I haven't watched it at home. And I
It's great.
Sorry, the timing is when it's on. I'm always on. But yeah, I don't have like a strong desire to watch Top Gun Maverick over and over and over and over again. And if you've seen me pull The Dark Knight in a lot of my random rankings, it doesn't always hit number one because I'm like, you know what? I've seen this so many times. So I'll, bump it towards the back or in the middle. But I really appreciated the sense of realism that movie had, getting that in a superhero movie. I know like X-Men, went for that with the suits and everything, but here it really felt like, oh, maybe, this maybe could happen, and I don't know. I overwatched it, but I still recognize that it's great. And not only, did it show that it's Oscar winning, but it also spawned the expansion, the idea of expanding the Best Picture category to. So it changed Oscar history. That and like Wall-E, I think, was the other one that those two movies really sort of pushed that forward.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
You know what's sad about that though, Derek, is like it changed it so that we could get movies like that in the top 10. and yet we don't get movies like that in the top 10. The whole point.
Enough.
What do you mean? Top Gun was nominated, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, but look how many years it took to get Top Gun in there.
We had Avatar. We had District 9. We had
Those are runaway
3.
Black Panther.
But it's very few. You know, you can't. You can probably count them all on 2 hands, maybe 1.
Yeah, I think 1.
It still helps, but it totally. It's weird. It's like one of those things where it's like, is it one of the 5 best movies of the year? Yeah, probably. It's definitely better than a couple of things that were nominated. But either way, it's great. I'm not going to say anything because we've been taking long enough to talk about how great Batman is. I said earlier in my video that I think Batman Begins is just as good if you take away the Heath Ledger part of it. This is probably the weirdest matchup, so let's just get it over with. We have Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. So the last Harry Potter film versus Wonder Woman from 2017, which I think is the newest movie on this. No, Top Gun's the newest. This is the second newest movie on this list. So Harry Potter, the final Harry Potter movie versus Wonder Woman. This one's weird. I almost don't even want to say anything.
It is weird.
I guess this one, so I can lose the next time around. Which one do you want to lose next round? That's this round.
There's definitely one stronger than the other. For me.
Same.
I mean, they're both fine to me for various reasons, but yeah. I'll pick one for a reason and I'll explain why. So 3, we're all ready. 2, 1. Flips them. The Wonder Womans.
Look at that.
Oh, we all want Wonder Woman. Holy buckets.
Because
Wonder Woman's have
Is
it.
it because that it's a part 2 of an entire franchise and the ending and the whole movie is an ending instead of a story?
Yes.
And David Yates isn't that good of a director.
Yeah.
And the earlier ones are
How
the
did that
more
happen?
non-whimsical films.
Yeah, it's no
The
Prisoner
earlier
of Azkaban.
Prisoner of Azkaban was so. I mean, the directors, once they decided to say, well, only British directors, I'm like, well, you're limiting yourself. Or find better British directors then.
Right. Yeah, I don't mind the David Yates ones. They're all fine.
That's it, though. They're just.
But the third one is easily the best one, and the funny thing is that it made the least amount of money. And now, however many years later, everyone's agreeing that that's the best one. It's because it was when it came out. It was always my favorite one.
Yeah.
After
After 4, I kind of lose interest.
Yeah. Wonder Woman was so. Wonder Woman was like DC's breath of fresh air. You know, their first bona fide hit. It beat a female-led superhero movie. Didn't it come out before Captain Marvel?
Yes.
Yeah. It was the first really big female.
So it beat her out and showed that female-led superhero movies can be good, despite what the suits were saying. Oh, no one will ever go see a female. It's wrong. And I thought Gal Gadot was a great choice. She's beautiful, picture perfect, and she could kick ass. She's from the Israeli army, and so she had skills. And I like Patty Jenkins' direction in it. I thought it was good. I mean, it did sort of have that big sort of CG, fight fest at the end, but up until then, I thought it was a pretty wonderful. And she loves Christopher Reeve's Superman, so you get some nods in there, like the revolving door, and she doesn't know how to go through it. I'm like, and the bullet in the hall and the alleyway.
Yeah, that's very Superman.
Yeah. Stuff like that. Yeah, so much better than Harry Potter.
Yeah. I like
my
Harry
first
Potter.
4K.
Is it?
This is my first 4K Black Friday.
Cool.
Nice.
I kind of love in that movie how she just walks on the battlefield.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a great scene.
And No Man's Land.
Yeah,
So
in No Man's Land. She's literally walking on No Man's Land. It's
it was perfect. That was such a moving scene. That's what you can tell. She's the heart of DC.
Guys, I just got goosebumps thinking about it.
And Chris Pine was very good at Steve Trevor. Yeah.
I love Chris Pine. He's great. Yeah.
He's a great actor.
It was too good. So they felt I need to shoehorn him into the second movie. Which
Didn't
nothing about the second movie was very good though.
No.
But yeah,
it was Wonder Woman. That second one, if you listen to the television show, the opening credits song, I think they use that as the script. Like, listen to the lyrics, read the lyrics of the Wonder Woman theme song from the TV show, and it is the plot of the second movie.
Oh, that's funny.
You mean the Wonder Woman? Ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding,
All the
ding,
world
ding,
is waiting for you.
in your
Yeah.
red, white, and blue. That's I'll have to.
That's fine. Yeah, because I thought Wonder Woman was like totally fine when I saw it in theaters. I thought the first act was super cheesy, and then the second act with Chris Pine and her together was really, really good. And the World War I stuff was all really good. And then the third act, like Huck said, was all CG poop superhero fest.
Yeah.
But the middle hour of the movie was solid enough to make it still one of the better DC movies that had come out.
Great.
See, I like the Amazon Island stuff though. I love going to.
It's not bad. I just thought it was really corny for some reason.
Robin
I
Wright.
remember early talk of that movie getting, Oscar Best Picture nomination. Obviously not a win, but maybe it could get into the 10th slot. I remember a little bit of talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was like that and Deadpool. Or both.
Yeah.
It might happen. And hey, Deadpool got in at the Golden Globes. They both made it in, I think, at the what was it, the
PGA,
the AFI top 10 or the National Border Review top 10? But either or both of them got into either one of those. So they were
one of them
there.
got into PGA too, I think.
Yeah, that might be what I'm thinking of. Yeah, I think they both might have gotten the PGA.
Yeah, and that's a huge tell. Usually,
that's because they like the money, so they like the $60 million superhero movies that make $700 million. All right, I feel bad for this round because both of these movies are outstanding on many a level. This is the last first round of this half, FYI. So we have Toy Story 3 versus Terminator 2. Judgment Day. Bum, 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 bum.
When I was looking over this list, I saw a big exclusion.
What was that?
That was a December movie.
Was it Shrek 2? Yeah, that was in Christmas.
Was that it?
What, Titanic? Is that what you're saying? That was December.
Yeah, they came out around Christmas. That's why. Yeah, these are all #1 grossing movies of the year. They came out in the summer.
Gotcha.
But otherwise, that would be an obvious. If it was just blockbusters, period, then yes, Titanic.
I'm just thinking grossing numbers overall. So.
Yeah. Now this is particularly summer release movies. We could do a Christmas one next time, maybe.
Oh,
that'd be fun. Godfather.
T2 versus Toy Story 3. Either way, the movie's going to start with a T. 3, 2, 1. Flips them. I didn't feel like going to grab a action figure, so I just.
Oh wow.
Oh, all right, Derek. Why Toy Story 3? Other than the obvious reasons that it's amazing.
Yeah. So Terminator 2, I feel like the older I get, the less and less I like it, and the more and more I like the first Terminator. So, I mean, I'm not saying I don't like Terminator 2 anymore, but it's just it's constantly in a lowering, I guess, in its ranking, And Toy Story 3, interestingly, is probably my third favorite Toy Story movie, but it's still absolutely fantastic. I like 1 and 4 more than the third one. But the third one, I mean, I was just a wreck in the theater.
Yeah.
I was just crying. I was crying. I was in like graduate.
He's speechless. He's crying.
That timing is just hilarious. So, but I just remember bawling during that movie. And speaking of, I got one more thing. Toy Story 2, not my favorite, but it did bring the promotional item for McDonald's, the holiday pie. Come Christmas time, if you order the holiday pie at McDonald's, that you have Toy Story 2 to thank. That's why we have that.
Wow.
But
that was a new thing.
Look at all these food products, man.
It's crazy.
I love fast food.
Expired fast food channel.
But yeah, Toy Story 3, it was a perfect ending. We didn't need any more. The fourth one, I think, is good though, very good, and a worthy, maybe new conclusion. But yeah, I don't know, it's so good, it was great to grow up with Andy.
For sure. Huck, how about you?
I mean, Toy Story 3 was a beautiful film, but Terminator 2, I just remember seeing in the cinema, and it just he did exactly with T2 what he did with Aliens, which is he took the original, which is more of a horror kind of spin, and put a little action twist on it. And it was Arnold is the good guy with his catchphrases and all that. Eddie Furlong was good as the kid. You always run the risk of getting a bad kid that'll just ruin a movie. But despite what's happened to him after that film, he was really good in the film. And Linda Hamilton came out of being sort of the damsel in distress from T1 to just a well-toned ass kicker, and she sold it, And Cameron even used her twin sister in that great scene instead of just using
a few times,
frame, he literally used her sister. And I was like, hey, when I first saw that, I just thought it was cinema magic. I had no clue he put his. And I didn't even know she had a twin. I learned all that afterwards. Just all those great cinematic effects, that Cameron invents and uses to perfection. And I've seen it so many times. It's just one of the, for me, top 3 action films of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So good. So I just love it. So I've seen it a ton. I've probably seen that more than Toy Story 3. So that's why I lean towards it. Hasta la vista, baby.
KB, how about you?
T2 is timeless, man. I mean, that's to me the greatest science fiction movie of my time, at least. And I mean, I wasn't expecting Toy Story 3 after having 1 and 2, and then everybody talks about it being so emotional, but I think it's really the way it ended was what was really emotional, And then 4 came out, and I don't know if you forgot the emotion of 3 because now it's a different ending, but I don't know. I think this was an easy one for me. I mean, Terminator 2 is up there. The special effects, I mean, yes, it's dated, but it's still, at the time,
so good.
It was so innovative.
They still look good, too.
Yeah.
And
even
Robert
with DNR all over the place, it still looks good.
Yeah, I still need to watch that. Ben, how about
There you
you?
Oh,
I'm watching it, damn it.
I agree with what has been said on both fronts, actually. What got me was I remember watching an interview with Robert Patrick, and he stated that scene where you first see him chasing them on the motorcycle, that is actually him running. They did not slow down the bike one bit. He actually caught that bike.
No.
That's how
He
intense he
practiced
was.
running so much. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. They had practiced that run so well that he did it. They're like, yeah, we can't use that cut. Let's do it again.
What, because he's running too fast?
No,
Run
he actually,
slower.
the first time he caught the bike.
Yeah.
He caught the bike, and it's like, you need to run slower.
That's
Okay.
funny.
Look the same, but run slightly slower.
Yeah.
Yeah, Toy Story 3 makes me bawl like a baby when I watch it, even after the 100th time I've watched it, and I love it.
It was a good ending to the franchise.
Yeah.
That didn't need a 4. It was
That should have been it.
It was like what I said, about Fast and Furious 7. It was a good ending to the franchise. They didn't need everything else.
Yeah.
That
money though. At least Toy Story 4 was, good. Better than it
could have been. I was shocked how entertaining Toy Story 4 was.
Yeah.
I
like it. I like it more than 3.
It was good.
I kind of like them, I don't know, in order almost. But 4 is my least favorite, but because and Toy Story 1 and 3, even though it's not, it's Andy's story,
Mm-hmm.
but it isn't really, But Toy Story 4 is very much so Woody's story, and that's what makes it good.
He's finally taking care of himself.
Yes, exactly. As opposed
to being a servant all his life.
But Terminator 2, I saw that in the drive-in when I was 5, and it was amazing. And that was after having already seen the first one, I don't know how many times. So easy peasy for me. All right, that was the last one of the
Wow.
first round. So
Well
this is
done,
rapid fire second or remainder of this half. Star Wars
Ooh.
versus Ghostbusters. Now, don't be thinking of Bill Murray singing the Star Wars disco song from SNL.
Snacks and buds. Star Wars.
Nothing but Star Wars.
Don't let him in.
That was better than the Diane Marie version of Star Wars.
And then he sang Jaws in like the 40th anniversary, I think, didn't he?
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think he sang a Jaws song.
Oh, the 40th anniversary of SNL, you mean?
SNL, yeah.
Oh, I probably saw that and I don't remember. That's hilarious. Because I guess that's when the show started, yeah. All right, 3, 2, 1. Star Wars, right?
I was going to do that, Huck. I was going to go and grab one of my Kenner toys.
I was going to say, as much as I love these guys, it's going to be this one.
It's got to, yeah. Is that a shirt? That shirt's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like the monkeys. But it's Star Wars. Yeah, I mean,
But it's Ghostbusters.
I mean, yeah, but it's Ghostbusters. Well, you said. I need to stop writing so much because it takes forever to erase. All right, so easy peasy. The next round, I'll just say it. I'll pop it up too. Is going to be Steven Spielberg's E.T. the Extraterrestrial versus Richard Lester Donner's Superman 2.
Oh,
jeez.
This is
the one with the aliens going to win.
Do you have it up on
the alien as the main character is winning.
Do you have it? Oh, it's still there. There you go. Oh, I just gotta look at it.
I was just erasing so much I didn't want to. I couldn't switch it over. Pains me, right? It hurts.
Right.
It hurts, don't it? Never hurts, don't it? All right, 3, 2, 1. Skadoosh.
Just to give it one more love.
Yeah.
Like it's really E.T., but I wanted Chris to have one more shot.
Yeah. Out of respect for Christopher.
Out of respect, absolutely. See, now I want to go put one of those 4Ks in tonight. I might do that.
Yeah.
Should have
me
done
too,
that
except for it's already like 11 for me, so I won't do that.
Yep.
Hence doing the second half faster.
I love it.
Ooh, see, this is why it's fun when you randomize it enough.
What we got? Oh,
it's Dark Knight versus Batman.
I knew that was going to happen.
Oh, wow.
Wow. All right.
It only takes 67 randomizations to get this to happen, apparently. So, what is the best blockbuster movie?
All right.
God damn.
When you put it like that.
The good thing is we don't have to talk about it.
Yep.
Yeah, either way, you're making Bob Kane and Bill Finger happy.
Thank you for adding Bill Finger.
Yeah.
Always forgotten.
Always.
Bill Finger, the one who actually came up with the concept of Batman. If not, it would have been a guy wearing red.
Yeah, he did the actual drawing, right?
Yeah.
And the original drawing was like, what is this?
All right.
Asshole. All right, which Batman movie is superior?
Oh,
flip it.
Yeah.
Very good. I didn't count down. Dark Knight. Oh, I went Batman.
Oh.
Wow. I'm surprised, actually. I thought it was going to be a Batman sweep.
Well, it was, technically, but...
89.
I didn't get to vote for it last time. That was my chance. So...
Dark Knight one. Oh.
I mean,
I would have been fine either way. I honestly like Dark Knight more than the Batman 89.
Yeah.
But hence why I emphasized better blockbuster before I said anything, was because I thought it might sway a person or two. Because Batman was a bigger deal, let's put it that way.
It was.
Yes.
Wow, so Dark Knight pulled
But Dark Knight was still like the highest grossing movie since Titanic, so that's pretty fucking important. All right, this shouldn't take long. Wonder Woman versus Terminator 2.
All right.
What's going to lose in the round of the thing that's going to lose in the next round win? All right, 3.
Don't be so sure.
2. 1. Wonder Woman? Oh, okay.
It's that was opposite round. Whatever we pick, the other wins.
I'm just happy that either way, I would have only had to write 2 letters or numbers.
I know, right?
WWT2.
Exactly. It's like when it was Superman 2 against ET. It's S2 or ET. It's making life easy.
All right. This one might get harder. Star Wars versus ET, the extraterrestrial.
Mm.
All right.
All right. We all ready?
Mm-hmm.
3.
KB, I feel like age is going to determine this.
Yeah.
Flip them.
Oh.
Star Wars.
All right. I thought some of the younger ones would go ET. Right.
Oh, well, I mean, they're fairly similar in age, the movies.
That's true. 3 years apart.
I grew up with ET, but Star Wars is...
Star Wars changed cinema.
It's Star Wars, like I said the first time.
Like Jaws created Blockbuster, but Star Wars changed cinema. That's how I look at it.
Right.
Yeah.
And marketing and toys.
Absolutely.
And...
Everything about cinema. Yeah.
Yep.
Hollywood Studios, Disney World.
Yeah. All right, this one might be tough. The Dark Knight versus Terminator 2, another battle of the sequels I didn't really think of until now.
Hmm. Gosh.
I know the one that feels better for me.
Okay. You all good?
All good.
Yep.
3.
I'll never feel good about this one.
Yeah,
Aw.
I do. Flip.
Oh, wow.
Oh. Oh, cool.
Look at that. See,
Sorry,
Derek,
man.
what will be the next one to go down? It did not go down. Wow. Nice.
See, just because I love superheroes and superhero movies doesn't mean I have to pick them every time.
Wow. T2.
Ooh. This is going exactly how I expected. Not just to say.
Is this the last bracket?
You always
Yep.
Despite randomization, it's like it's hard to, yeah. This is the last one until the last one.
So unlike your 80s bracket, ET isn't going all the way.
Yes. Maybe when I do a 70s one, then Star Wars might win that one too. So, okay. Star Wars and Terminator 2.
Look at Derek. Oh, your eyes so big.
Just play around.
I'm ready.
You bulge them out like some people. 3, 2, 1. Flip them. Ugh. Star Wars, right? Come on. It's Star Wars.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I should have just had a board set aside that just said Star Wars. For Star Wars. Come on. It's Star Wars. Over T2.
Okay.
Good run, T2.
Yeah.
That was a good run.
I would have voted Ghostbusters all the way through, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I loved Ghostbusters before I loved Star Wars.
I guess I did too, but I like Star Wars more than I ever liked Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I don't think I ever did.
We should do a bracket battle once, Derek, where we take out all the sure wins, like Star Wars or the
Yeah, right.
And then see what wins. I think that would be
It'd be hard to, that's like the whole point of this one. It's just like, oh yeah, these are so obvious.
Yeah.
So
can't predict.
yeah, because like honestly, I probably like Terminator 2 at least as much as Star Wars, if not more. But based on the whole blockbuster aspect, I had to go Star Wars.
Yeah. Ghostbusters could have come out in October and would have been nice.
Yeah, that would have made sense. All right, here it is. The exact 2 that I expected to be in the final 2. Jaws versus Star Wars.
Charles.
The original Blockbuster versus the Blockbuster that changed cinema forever, even more so than Jaws did, I should say. I guess it was probably the next highest grossing movie after Jaws was Star Wars. Is the one that beat it.
Like that ad you put in the IG.
Mm-hmm.
What was it, like a full page in the Variety or whatever?
Yeah, they still do that nowadays. I think that's kind of cool. But
Yeah.
it's like means a lot less nowadays, it seems like. It's like, oh, congratulations, James Cameron, again, because you re-released Avatar for the 15th time in theaters. And it made $6 million just to barely pass Avengers Endgame or whatever.
Yeah. Love those re-releases.
Right. Like, they don't mean anything anymore. Back then, when you actually had to go to the theater, it was cool. This one's hard. Can I just do Jaws Wars? Does that count? Or Star Jaws? Star Jaws?
Star Jaws.
Sharks in space.
Should we reveal the last one at a time?
That's a good idea. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So it's not just, oh. I think we're ready. Oh, is Ben still ready?
I'm
No,
not.
I'm ready.
I'm
ready.
not
I'm
ready.
ready.
I'm trying to think.
There.
You'll never feel good about it.
Ever. Why did I do this to myself? God damn.
It's so funny, all the work we went through to get to the two we knew it would be.
And it only took 3 hours and 15 minutes.
This one ended up longer than I expected, considering. Fuck it.
Good
We're gonna
stuff
do
to
this.
talk about. Look
There's
at that.
no wrong answer.
The
Yeah,
audience.
exactly. All right.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right. Who should go first?
Why not you?
Just going on. Yeah, you go first.
Jaws.
Whoa.
I'm going Jaws, the OG blockbuster, which I probably like more than Star Wars now, since I've watched Star Wars too many times, and Jaws never gets old. How about Derek?
This is still my favorite Star Wars movie of all the Star Wars movies. So
Mine too.
I gotta go with Star Wars.
It's my favorite too. Huck.
And may I just say, I believe in you, Porkins. I believe in you. I just have to say, I'm like, as much as I love Jaws, and look, it doesn't matter that I've seen this 100 times. It does not get old. You know, even with its, effects being dated, it's still like anything that's dated. If you watch it for what it is and you're moved by those effects, it works. Star Wars, man.
KB. I'm just going to pop up comments of everyone here while we're going. Star Wars. Star Wars. Star Wars, but damn close. Jaws.
Yep.
Yeah,
Star
very
Wars. Star
It's
Wars.
close.
Jaws. Star Wars. Star Wars. Bob. That's not an option. Star Wars. Star Wars.
Bob.
Jaws.
No, it's spelled Jaws.
KB. Jaws.
Yeah, KB.
Oh, we got the DVD set, huh? Nice. There it is.
Whoa.
Beautiful.
Gotta
Ben,
go
what'd
with
you
Lord
have?
Vader.
Making Ben's vote
What'd you
unnecessary.
have?
Cowboys in space.
Cowboys in space. Oh, look at that. Wow.
I mean, yeah, like I almost went Star Wars because it just seemed too easy. I'm like, you know what? Jaws is awesome. I'm gonna give Jaws a vote and see what happens.
Honestly, I thought for some reason I was feeling like the Jaws energy in the house. I thought it was going to win. So
I'm not surprised. Yeah, Star Wars. Hey, what do we know? The one of the two things that was going to win won. Shocking.
Well, there we
That's
go.
wonderful. But since it's already getting late, we'll do this the cliche. Hey, what do you got coming up? Round table, really quick here. Let's start with Derek.
Well, KB, is this okay to say, KB? Okay, KB and I are working stuff out. We going to be on the conversation, but I gotta find out some dates, when I can do it. So look forward to that once we have a date set. But I think that's the only thing I've got coming up. Otherwise, check out my channel, Pure Hangout. Right now, I'm doing a lot of random rankings, but really busy at work. But I'm hoping to get some bigger videos out, maybe longer form videos out, maybe a little deeper into the summer. We'll see what happens.
Nice.
And thanks for having me on. This was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, no. You're all always welcome. That's the problem, is that I have too many people at this point. It's not really a problem. I appreciate it, honestly. Huck, how about you?
Yes. Thanks for having me on, Derek. That's a lot of fun. Love these blockbusters. Coming up next is going to be the next Collectors Club that'll be part of on Sunday night, this coming Sunday at 6 p.m. So tune in for that. That'll be on Tim Talks Talkies channels, though. This is just what I will be involved with. This is how I'm pointing. I got my morning mug every Tuesday morning. Tune into that. KB, stop on by. Give me a new nickname for my muggles. And then next week I will also be on Bob's Hall of Fame. So please tune in there and see what crazy stuff he's got it in store for me. I can only imagine.
That's Wednesday, right?
I think that's on Wednesday. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Watching you, Bob.
He's around. KB, how about you? Besides Derek's conversation that might happen.
Derek's conversation that will happen. I don't know how many people remember I had Vengeance Media from the UK a couple months ago. I want to get more international people on the conversation. Okay. So this Saturday, noon, my time, which is Central, and 6 p.m. in the UK, I'm going to have Megan from Meg's Movies. That's going to be fun. And then next week, I know Bearded Film Guys stopping by. Later this month, I'm finally going to do the 5 takes with James from 20th and 21st. And a couple other people popping in. So it should be fun.
Nice. That's cool. So one good thing about the big time change is you can make it convenient for both people.
Yeah.
If you're lucky. Binbuster, what's your at?
At the Binbuster.
Oh, okay.
On all social media right there. Cheap plug. But I have my Walmart Wednesdays I normally do. I have a review of Fast X coming out tomorrow with my wife. So it's her favorite franchise. So yeah, she's going to be a part of that review. Can't wait for that one. I just do a bunch of stuff talking about movies and everything like that. So yeah.
Fantastic.
I forgot I saw that already. I saw that on Monday. I should have put out a review. Quick synopsis.
So it's that good, huh?
Quick synopsis. It's silly but fun. It makes up for Fast 9. There you go. That's all the review right there.
If I'd seen Fast 9, I knew what you're talking about, but I haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not in space this time.
See, I thought this one they were in space. I forgot they were already in space, so that's hilarious.
No, that was Jason X.
That just makes me want to watch this one.
Still better than
even deeper space with family. All right,
they go underwater.
That'd be cooler.
That's what I'm saying. Little James
Actually,
fast submarines.
Actually,
oh no! I
like,
made that joke 2 years ago.
Driven through yet?
Oh Lord.
All right. But
Transformers and Fast and Furious.
Yeah, that might happen. Apparently, just like the Men in Black 21st or 21 Jump Street crossover. Oh God, no. All right.
Have they been on a train?
Thanks all for being here. I love all you guys, and I appreciate you taking your time out, especially when it's as long as it has been. I see that. But you know, I'm tired too, so we're all there. I'm Derek, the Convicted Cinephile. I do things on my channel like this at least once a month. The next month, which is June, yes, I will be doing the superhero movie version of this thing, and I'm still deducing which 32 superhero movies to include, and I'm about halfway there. So keep your eyes out on my Instagram, which is also Convicted Cinephile, and you can vote on which movies you want to be on it, unlike previous streams, because this one, you can't change what made the most money, but you can be objective and pick your favorite superhero movie. So that's what I'm trying to do. And other than that, I have my Bad Movie Bible series I'm doing, and just whatever the hell else I pick up, I do an unboxing for and all that fun stuff. So go check those out and watch Ninja 3 and Miami Connection. So on that note, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. So
and congratulations.
See you later.
Go watch a movie.
Go watch Star Wars, apparently.